Alrighty, look how quick that was. So fast, so suave. Okay, so for Twitch, literally nothing is going to change other than I need to change game title. Oh god, I think this is what I got. That might have been the wrong command. Oh, my Twitch chat is super fucking slow. Okie dokie. Oh, good. It worked. Okay. All right. And then I need to grab the other YouTube chat. And I also need to put on some musica. Okay, we've also got Big Warhammer preview show. Starts in 73 minutes. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's a Warriors of Chaos image. Or it could be ogres. Could be like a maw. It looks kind of chaosy though, but it's not the 8-pointed star. It could be 40k. Who knows? Okay, I need to pull up this YouTube stream. View on YouTube, and then I also need to do this. Next thing you know, we'll see Sadie. I really doubt it, but you might. She doesn't generally like to view on YouTube. I don't like to listen to myself. Get out of here. She usually does not like to come by when I'm streaming. She likes to hang out with me up here if I'm not streaming. But the second I start streaming, she's like, "Oh!" Metallic ring on your mic's back to being bagged. It can't be anything physical. It can't be. Like, it just seems to go in and out. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. I might need to listen back. Actually, let's timestamp this so I can listen back to the stream. But like, I literally did not touch anything. So it can't be like a physical connection thing. So I don't. It's so infrequent. Like, yeah, whatever. There's nothing I can fucking do about it. I changed where the microphone was plugged in to my PC, but that does not seem to have changed anything. I'm doing a show, but hungry for lunch. Would anyone want in or be willing to pick up if I bought something? I would happily pay for the food. You think you hear it? Okay, hold on. Let me test for the food. You think you hear it? Okay, hold on. Let me test for the food. I'm not hearing anything on YouTube. I don't hear anything on YouTube. Let me switch over to Twitch. I'm talking, I'm just kind of having a conversation. I'm talking. I just want to see if there's any kind of ringing or there's some kind of weird voice thing happening. I'm talking. All right, that should be enough. There. A weird voice thing happening. I'm talking. All right, that should be enough. There. A weird voice thing happening. I'm talking. Test. Talk. There. A weird voice thing happening. I'm talking. Test. Talk. There. A weird voice thing happening. I don't hear anything, guys. Test, talk. Oh wait, is that it? I don't hear anything, guys. Test, talk. Okay, the problem is I can't tell if it's happening when I'm talking or if it's happening. I don't hear anything, guys. Test, talk. Okay, I do hear it. That's super weird. What is causing that? Huh. The only way I can hear it, though, is I had to crank my volume all the way up to max. Like, I had to crank my volume all the way up, and I barely heard it. Like, barely heard it. I might... Well, okay, what I actually need to do is I need to replace my Galrauch LR. That's what I actually need to do. That's probably the step I need to do. I really don't want to, but I need to. Because the Galrauch LR is no longer being supported. Like, it no longer receives software. You think it's based on where I'm looking? Okay. Just curious. I'm going to look this way for a bit while I pull up some like music to listen to. I'm curious if the direction has anything to do with it, because that would be weird, but not necessarily impossible. A part of me thinks it could be when a message is coming in on my phone. A part of me thinks it's that. That's not what I wanted at all. What the fuck? Did we lose all of those notes? That fucking sucks. I wanted to listen to that. Well, I guess I'll deal with that later. Let's do... That's fine. How soon do the thing starts? 1 hour. We have 1 hour until the reveal show begins, which I am super fucking excited. I want my Chaos Dragons. I want my Chaos Dragons, bro. If we get Galrauch today, I might shit my pants live on stream. Honest to God. I love Galrauch, but I feel like his current miniature is just so garbage. And I was really disappointed by Games Workshop basically coming out and being like, oh, look, Galrauch is playable in Old World. And then they didn't give him a new mini. And I was like, well, what's the point? Besides Galrauch, what would I expect? Based on the rumor images, I'm thinking we're gonna get Chaos Knights, Warriors of Chaos on foot. I've heard rumors. I don't know if I believe them, but I've heard rumors that we might get Dragon Ogres and a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. Actually, hold on. If I pull up the rumor image, the rumor engine here. Warhammer. Oh, blinding. Plot twist, it's Baldros. I mean, it would be really weird for it to be Baldros without Egrim, because Baldros shouldn't be there. It would be really weird if it was Baldros. Menu. Can I see, do they have it organized where you can just see all the rumor engines, or are they jerks and don't have it where you can easily look them up? Of course they don't. Why would they have it where you can easily look it up? That would be so nice. Fucking GW, I swear to God, dude. Why y'all gotta be so incompetent? Why is the miniature of the month like a basic bitch Saurus warrior for June? Is this June or July? June. No? Yeah, June's miniature of the month is just like a basic bitch Saurus warrior. It's not even like a unique pose or anything. It's literally just the basic one. That's dumb. Where the fuck are the rumor engines? Hold on, maybe I can... Rumor engine. Aha! Okay, I found it. Okay, here. Look at this. Look at this. Come here. Come here. I'm gonna give you a big old kiss. Come here. So we've got this. This is for Age of Sigmar. This definitely looks like some kind of vampire. But we can see this is a free Cities of Sigmar guy. So we have a Cities of Sigmar guy. So this is for AoS. And the hand that's holding him, that's like holding him up, to me it kind of looks like a vampire. Because the hand is like roughly the same size as him. So it doesn't look like an ogre hand. But it's kind of got claws. So I feel like this is for Soulblight Gravelords. Because Soulblight Gravelords have not gotten their 4th edition book, I think. Oh no, it didn't go back to the page where I was on. I have to type that in every time. Then we have this image. Look at this. This to me looks like Seraphon. Or maybe Exodites. It could be Exodites. Apparently Exodites supposedly are in the kill team. So this could be an Exodite dinosaur. Because I haven't heard anything about Seraphon getting new minis like now. Is that a ghoul hand? It looks like a ghoul hand, I think. Or ghoul or some kind of vampire. But this I think this is for the Eldar Exodites. I'd be happy if I was wrong and it was for Seraphon, but I have not heard anything about Seraphon. What else do we have for this rumor engine? This is a Chaos Knight. I feel like this is a Chaos Knight or some kind of really big beastie. But it's definitely this is definitely a old world lance. It looks like a Chaos Knight lance. And there's been rumors about new Chaos Knights. So I feel like this is a pretty easy slam dunk of the new Chaos Knights. I would be more than happy to be wrong on that because I feel like we already have perfectly good Chaos Knight minis for like AoS, and you could just use those. I don't like when they like double up between AoS and fantasy, but that's just me. What else we got? This one. So this goes with that tail we saw earlier, right? Where you got like this one's interesting because I can't tell how big this foot is. The terrain looks chaosy, so this could be the Chaos Dragon. I've also heard that there's maybe rumors of like Dragon Ogre stuff, so this could be like one of the limbs of a Dragon Ogre. It doesn't look thick enough to be a dragon, at least from this like angle. Like I don't know, it doesn't scream dragon to me. But it could be a lot of different things. Like it could be an Exodite, though the terrain looks weird. Did you miss any reveals? No, we haven't. It hasn't even started yet. What else do we have? That's definitely 40k, so I don't care. You made me. I was reading your comment and it made me type Premiere. No, I don't. It's not Premiere. I would love for it to be familiar, but it's not. Here we have a book that looks like it's being held by we see the 8-pointed star of chaos, but that could also just be the 8 winds of magic. The symbology looks more like this is a Winds of Magic tome and less like it's a Chaos tome. I don't know what this could be. For y'all 40k guys, does this look like it could be anything? For those of you that like 40k? Does this like jump out at any of y'all? Or to me it screams like fantasy or Age of Sigmar. But it doesn't seem like a chaos tome. There are 2 8-pointed stars. Yeah, but that could also just be the Winds of Magic. That could just be a representation of the 8 winds. Like, it could be a chaos sorcerer. Like, I'm not saying it isn't. It doesn't look like as over the top as I would expect a chaos book to look. But it could be like a chaos sorcerer. Could be word bearers. Could be word bearers. Did I see the old minis GW released? I did. Dude, the baby, I want this. I want this set so bad. The baby dragons are fantastic. This is such a good kit. I fully intend to buy this. The baby dragons are awesome. The mercenary ogres are hideous. I hate these. Don't have any interest in these whatsoever. These are hideous. Orc raiders, these are really cool. These are really, really nice sculpts. The orc raiders look really good. The baggage train carts are super fun. These would work really, really well to represent all sorts of different things on your camp on Warhammer Fantasy Old World. Like, you could use these for all sorts of kits. The horse, man, that is an old edition horse. I have several of those. The donkey's interesting. I haven't seen the donkey sculpt. 40k is the Winds of Magic. No, but it has the 8-pointed star. So like if that's a chaos thing, then it could be like a word bearer or some other chaos thingamajigger. Let's see, are there any other ones that look interesting? That could be a chaos thing. Oh no, they're saying it's perhaps part of a gun. Maybe this is Exodites. The way the comment under here goes, it seems like they're talking about Exodites. That'd be kind of cool if the Exodites have, because they would have more like natural weapons, right? Like they would have like weird world weapons. Sorry, 1 second. My family is debating food, and I'm having a mental moment of this could be an opportunity, I suppose, for me to get something that's not super garbage for me, even though garbage stuff tastes delicious. I need more actiony music. I'm excited. I need more exciting stuff. Hit me with that. Sure, we'll do Mechanicus. That worked great. It's a bad thing about asking my family to go pick up stuff. Let me look here at the menu. I could get a salad, I suppose. Let's see what comes on. I don't want. I want grilled chicken. I wish they had the Southwest salad, but like non-spicy. But no, they're all spicy, and I know it's going to be too spicy for me. Do you think we'll get news about the Naga mod for Total War Warhammer 3 soon? I don't know. You'd have to ask the mod devs that. I don't like their salads. Like, can I get a Cobb salad with grilled chicken? Oh, I could. What comes on the Cobb salad? Greens, roasted corn. Corn is so pointless. I fucking hate corn. Bacon, grape tomatoes. I mean, if I could get it without the bacon or the eggs. I mean, if I hate it, I can always just order a pizza, I suppose. I guess I'll try the salad with grilled chicken with heated grilled chicken. Not cold, please. Which is an option for some reason. With no bacon, if possible. That is the least exciting thing I could possibly ask for lunch, but if I could tolerate it, I'll hate myself less. Are they gonna announce a working Mechanicus 2? Oh no, is Mechanicus 2 like super buggy? Yeah, see, this is also coming up for the rumor engine. So I don't know what big thing. This doesn't look very dragony to me though. Like, I could be crazy, but this looks like a dinosaur mouth, not a dragon mouth. Biofoot, if none of these are crab dwarfs, I'm a riot. Well, you better get your fires ready. Sotek is almost aligned, so no news on Lords of the End Times. There's going to be a stream on the 30th. They said yesterday. There is going to be a stream on the 30th for Lords of the End Times. Have I tried the Skitarii? No. No, I do not play. I genuinely do not play Dark Tide off stream. Ugh, fucking salad. But I am very, very excited for this show. Got less than an hour to go. I think you should disregard any NDA and let us tell us everything you know. How about I don't? How about I don't? Check the Nagamod. The mod staff is busy with IRL stuff, so there's not much progress being done. Oh well, that's life. Excuse me. Might need a nap after this. I will say I am extremely excited about the ogres. The Ogre Kingdoms have not really received any love in a very long time. Like, it's been 20 years for the ogres.
If you look at the rumor engine's picture of a gun, it's an old Wicklock style gun, so maybe it's old world, maybe Empire is getting older looking guns.
That'd be nice. I'm not holding my breath, but it'd be really, really nice. Will we see Ingra Deathsword? Maybe? I mean, Ingra Deathsword is certainly a possibility. I don't think you'll see him anytime soon. He won't show up until like the later stages of the old world. Because Ingra Deathsword plays a key role in the Siege of Prague in the original story. Hi, Owls Dust. How you doing? Oh, when Kissel comes, we get the chicken looking hut that Mother Ostankia has. I doubt it. I would be pretty surprised to see the chicken hut. I'm pretty sure this has been spoken about in the past, but originally the Ostankia's hut in Total War had the chicken legs. Like, it was a chicken hut, but Games Workshop came out and said no, like no legs. So I don't think that's gonna happen at all in universe, considering that GW came out and just like very specifically was like no. And to be honest, I don't think it should have chicken legs, because then it just makes her too much like Baba Yaga. Like, I think it's better to create more differences from Baba Yaga instead of making her a carbon copy of Baba Yaga. Now, I wouldn't mind if there was, like, more insanity involving the hags. Like, the hags in Total War are very constrained. I would really, really like to get hag mothers back. Current Games Workshop's current perspective on it is apparently that Mother Ostankia is the only hag mother, and I wish that was not the case. I'd like there to be a Lord level hag. But I don't know, we'll have to see. Spider legs might be more her thing. Honestly, yeah, to be honest. If Mother Ostankia's hut, which she does have a hut, but if Mother Ostankia's hut had legs or a way of moving, it would probably be much, much, much creepier than chicken legs. Do you think Galrauch will be the big chaos character for this edition? I don't know if he'll be like the big character. I think he will be a big character, seeing as we already know he's in the old world. Like, consider he's already in the Warriors of Chaos Arcane Journal as a playable special character. So I suspect if he's getting a new model today, which seems very, very likely at this point, then I suspect what we will be looking at is he will step into the narrative, which would be really nice. Considering currently he's not doing anything, as far as we know. Like he hasn't done diddly squat. Chicken hugs are boring and original. Let her have a million hands that carry it like finger creepers from Elden Ring. Yeah, something like that could be fun. Anyone want to make bets on how jank this reveal show will be? I don't think it's going to be that bad because they're in-house. So, yeah, they're doing it from headquarters, so to speak. They're not doing it from like a convention. They're doing it from Nottingham. So it's probably going to be not nearly as bad as the last few were. They'll find a way to mess up the audio. It's possible. I wouldn't put it past them. What about the UK weather? Yeah, I don't envy the UK right now. The UK, excuse me, the UK kind of sounds like Hell World at the moment. Ugh, my family is discussing too much. Hoping for Kislev arming for the old world. I would be very surprised if they announced that today. I think there is going to be Kislev for the old world eventually, but I don't think they're going to announce it today. Sotek, I love your series on Lord Base about the Tarmakov brothers. Thank you. Me and Andy are very, very proud of that one. And the community also helped tremendously. Those were the Build Us Something streams have always been good. Like, they're always fantastic. France is hotter than the Sahara at the moment. Oof. Woof, I say, as I'm enjoying my air conditioning and my room fan that's also blowing on me. You think they'll have a hydration break? No. They never do. When are we doing build a fisherman army? Probably never, because that would just require, like, we'd basically just be making that up from scratch. I don't think there would be much of substance that we could use to inform it, which would be the problem. Enjoying my 68 Fahrenheit morning. Somebody shoot that guy. Absolute bastard. I missed everything. Nothing has happened yet, Awesome Line Source. This is the pre-show. We are currently in pre-show. We have 40 minutes until the actual reveal show starts. I just wanted to start early so we could kind of just yap and hang out for a bit. I am really excited for the Ogre stuff. Especially if the rumor mill was true that we're gonna be getting like the first legit female ogre character with the daughter of Glob Glittermaw. That would be so fucking nice. I would love just like a big badass ogre lady special character. I'm using the Strigoi Queen you built as a player in my new Soulbound Death campaign tonight. Oh, that's really exciting. Hope it goes well. Just you today? Yep, just me. Everyone else is either watching it on their own or is busy doing other stuff.
Another wretched
I'm gonna be honest, I actually didn't ask anyone. I probably should have, but
cursed Sotek spawn.
Who's Glob
Happy reveal
Glittermaw? You get used to it. Thank you so much for the 55 months. Glob Glittermaw is the closest thing the Ogre Maw tribes in Age of Sigmar have to a special character. He's never had a mini, and he's never had playable rules. But Glob Glittermaw is like the big bad over tyrant of the major tribes within Age of Sigmar. He's basically Grease's Goldtooth. Like, whenever you read about him, he doesn't come up super often, but whenever he is brought up, he essentially is Grease's Goldtooth almost to a T. Like, rather amusingly. Games Workshop did not try particularly hard when coming up with, like, Ogre characters in the background. But, once again, not a playable character. He just exists in the setting. So, whenever you would buy an Ogre Maw Tribe Battle Tome, when you're looking at, like, the timeline section, they always bring up Glob Glittermaw and, like, what he's up to. Ricky Chapman, if Galrauch is leading armies, there's one reason we want to see Arise Azavar Cool. I hope they don't reveal Azavar yet. I don't want to see Azavar Cool for at least like another edition. Like, I feel like he shouldn't be coming out until like 3rd edition. Or something like that. I don't know. I want Azavar Cool to have a lot of build-up. I don't want him to be playable, like, right at the beginning. I feel like they should save him until later. Because there's, like, a lot of big bad Chaos characters, and I'd rather we, like, hear things about Azavar. Like, there are whispers about him on the fringes, but I feel like he shouldn't show up for at least a little while. The only way I would want him to show up earlier would be if they plan to give him another release later. So, like, if they were going to do a release, like, if they were going to do something like they did with Vulcan or Titus, where, like, he gets a model and then later down the line he gets, like, a new, bigger, scarier model, like 2 or 3 years later, that'd be fine. I would be okay with him coming out a little early if we got, like, a smaller version of him and then he gets bigger. That would be neat. But I wouldn't, like, bet money on that happening. Hell's Gate, thank you for the super chat. Any chance for end times or any generic updates for Warhammer 3? At this show, no. This is just for Games Workshop. That being said, the Lords of the End Times is gonna have an update stream apparently on Tuesday, like this upcoming Tuesday. Is he a joke name character as ever cool? I don't think so, because that's not like, it's not like a very natural pun. It feels like a bit of a stretch. And, like, the Cool Tribe is, like, very... Like, the Cool Tribe, I guess you could argue, it's like, oh, cool, like, C-O-O-L. But, like, the Cool have been, like, very well established. I'd second an Arbol new mini at some point. Arbol would be neat. I'm pretty sure Arbol goes to the Siege of Prague. Yeah, he does. Yeah. Lord Strokes, after years of resisting, Age of Sigmar finally sunk its claws into being tabletop included with Lorebeard's campaign. Be continuing or will be accepting new players in the future. So you get used to it. You can join the current Age of Sigmar season for the Lorebeard stuff, like, right now. You can join at any time. There are rules for how to join late, but you haven't missed that much. You just need to message, like, Biofoot or Like, if you go on the Lordbeard's Discord and you go to the announcements channel, just message one of the judges. When will the show start? In 35 minutes. Sotek, what would be your recommend books for a person to buy? It depends on for what. If you're brand new to Warhammer and you've never read anything in your life that has to do with Warhammer, then my recommendation would be the Gotrek and Felix series. If you are brand new to Warhammer Fantasy, but you've read other stuff, I would still recommend the Gotrek and Felix series. If you're brand new to Age of Sigmar and you've never read anything about Warhammer, I would probably recommend either one of the short stories collections or something like God Eater's Son or Lady of Sorrows or Hamilcar. Those are all pretty good. Does the tabletop sim DMCA affect it? What do you mean by that? Rephrase that. Like, the Age of Sigmar League? No. No. Funny enough, Games Workshop did not ping all of the Warhammer mods. They only targeted specifically the 11th edition Warhammer mods. the 11th edition 40k Warhammer mods. If you play Age of Sigmar, or you play 10th edition 40k, or literally anything else, then it doesn't affect you. They only went after the 11th edition 40k mods. Supposedly. Last I checked, the Age of Sigmar mods are all still working. Do you have a least favorite faction to Age of Sigmar? Right now, probably the Fire Slayers, because they're way too niche. Like, I like them, but they're too niche in my opinion. They gotta figure out something with that faction. It's just too laser focused of a concept. It needs to like blossom. At least off the top of my head. Because most of the other ranges are in pretty good spots. Yeah. Yeah, most of the other ranges are like in relatively decent positions at the moment. Like Ogre Maw tribes are pretty bad, but they're about to get like a big range refresh. Like today. Well, revealed at least. I want Galrauch to be the Chaos Leader attacking the Great Bash in the Old World. Oh, that'd be neat. That would put him in a very different place than he traditionally has been. Traditionally, Galrauch is more heavily associated with like Norska and like the Old World part of Chaos, but that's because he hasn't received new lore. They could have him attack the Great Bastion. That'd be pretty hype. I'd be down for that. Beastman? You mean Beast of Chaos? Bro, I'm still so fucking mad they squatted him. I'm so mad they squatted the Beast of Chaos. There was no reason to do that. That pisses me off so much, dude. I would love a modern Lokir Felhart model. That could happen, maybe? I don't remember how old Lokir is. Lokir's not that old. But I think he's around during the Old World. I'd have to double check. I'm not sure if Lokir Felhart is around during the Old World. Do you think Vampire Coast is possible for the Old World? Theoretically, yes, it is possible. It's not likely, but it's possible. There have been some pretty big rumors that the general design, the general idea behind the Old World is going to be that first edition and 1.5 edition are going to be focused on like the traditional old world. And then second edition supposedly is going to be focused on like the Far East. So like or the West. It's either going to be focused on the Far West or the Far East. If they go to the Far West, then we're probably looking at a big focus on High Elves, Lizardmen, Dark Elves, and potentially Vampire Coast. However, if they go to the Far East for second edition, then we're looking at a big focus on Cathay, Ind, Koresh, the Hobgoblin Khanate, and then potentially Khonshu and Nippon. Which the rumors that I have heard seem to support the idea of us going east more than us going west, but that remains to be seen. Give me Kislev. Supposedly Kislev will come out in 1.5. So like when 1.5 edition comes out, the two new factions, the two like big new factions we're gonna get are Kislev and the like Talea or Southern Realms or Dogs of War or something. No, Khonshu, not Hongshu. I think it's Khonshu. It's whatever the fucking name of the new Warhammer Korea is. Is it Khonshu? Starts with a K. I'm like 90% sure it starts with a K. I could. Yeah, it is called Shun. Kosun? Koshun? One of those. Sorry, it's not Khonshu, it's Kosun. I put the N in the wrong place. Yeah, Kosun. There's an N at the end of it. But don't look to me for pronunciation. I pronounce shit wrong all the goddamn time. So do not consider me your gospel source for pronunciation or you're gonna hurt yourself. Aragas the Pillager, thank you for the super chat. Baby Tyrion Techless for Hiles, please. Also, I'd love some of Asvar Kul's lieutenants starting to show up as the Great War gets closer. I agree. Though Tyrion and Techless would not be babies. They would be younger, but they're not babies. Because keep in mind that, like, their big moment is coming up pretty quickly. You can't fail pronouncing Gotrek and Felix. I mean, I can. There are people that get mad at me for not saying Gotrek and Felix. Do you think there's any chance for Krokar to make an appearance in Age of Sigmar? Could it happen? Yeah, sure. I mean, the end times... So, the end times sets up Krokar ascending into something else. Essentially a Seraphon. Or what the idea they had for the Seraphon was at that time. If you go read End Times Thankwol, the last thing we see happening with Krokar is that he unlocks like the full power of the Hand of the Gods, which is that prosthetic left arm that he has. And when he unlocks its full power, he starts to like ascend. So he starts like glowing with like brilliant light, and he's clearly turning into something, but we don't know what. And then that's the last time we saw him. And we know he escaped the planet. He made it to one of the things that leaves the planet at the orders of Lord Mazdamundi. That being said, as of right now, it seems more likely that Nakai is coming to Age of Sigmar than Krokar is. Because Nakai actually got a lore blurb in the 3rd edition Seraphon book. Well, Krokar's mini has not been squatted. You could buy Krokar right now if you want to. You can even play as Krokar. Like, Krokar is fully playable. He's just a generic old blood with Sunbolt Gauntlet. Is the name of the, like, the war scroll. There aren't any Source characters in Age of Sigmar, correct? That is mostly correct. There's no like dedicated special character. Yes, there's no Skink or Saurus. However, there are underworld war bands for the Seraphon. There are 2 of them actually, and both of them had a named Saurus and named Skink characters in them. But underworld warbands are not like big special characters. They're very minor characters that happen to be named. I thought Nakai was killed with Galrauch. No, that's not something Games Workshop published. That was made up by Matt Ward. Matt Ward had a private blog that was not endorsed or supported in any way, shape, or form by Games Workshop. And Matt Ward, on his private blog, people would ask him questions about what his headcanon was about the end times, and he just made shit up. He would just make shit up. Which is fine. The problem is that due to the way the internet works, there were too many people that took what he said as gospel, even though it wasn't published by Games Workshop and is in no way, shape, or form canon or official material. It was literally just his personal, like, oh, here's what I would have done if they would have let me. Nakai and Galrauch both do not appear in the end times. They don't show up at all. We have no idea what happens to them or what they were doing. Matt Ward was the one who came out and was like, oh, they were at the battle for Itza and they fight against legions of Skaven until a part of the Chaos Moon falls down and crushes them. Can you turn the music down a little bit? Yes, I can. There you go. Hopefully that's better. Was it Matt Wars or Josh Reynolds? Oh, it might have been Josh Reynolds. It was Josh Reynolds. You're right. It was Josh Reynolds. Yeah, my bad. It was Josh Reynolds. It wasn't Matt Ward. It was Josh Reynolds. I don't know why I said Matt Ward. Well, Matt Ward did a lot of things. Some good, some bad. Yeah, that was Josh Reynolds. Yeah, because it was Josh Reynolds. Yeah, that's right. Josh Reynolds had a significant amount of writing that I have such mixed feelings about Josh Reynolds. Some of his books I love. Some of his books I absolutely fucking hate. Like, oh my god, his Neferata book. Oh, there were a couple of parts of the book that I enjoyed, but holy shit, dude, the stuff that he like made up. Oh my god, he did some crazy shit that I was like, why would you do this? His version of Neferata is so garbage. I do not like his Neferata. Is that the one where Neferata and Khalida are incestuous cousins? That's always been... that's not new. That's old lore. That part was fine. The part I did not like is that Josh Reynolds was the one who decided to rework Neferata where she wasn't the one that came up with the vampiric elixir and discovered it on her own. he instead made it where she basically got babied by Archon the Black and wait, no, that was the Nagash trilogy. The Neferata book was, oh, what was the thing that he did? That was the Nagash trilogy. The weird stuff he did in the Neferata book was he goofed up a lot of the timeline stuff. It wasn't like an awful book, but it had some good parts. It genuinely really good parts. No, sorry, the Elixir of Immortality shit, that was whoever wrote the Nagash trilogy, which that I fucking hate the Nagash trilogy. I hate the Nagash trilogy with the fury of 10 billion suns. That is my, like, that is unparalleled, unrivaled. That is the worst set of books ever written for Warhammer Fantasy. Not even a contest. Like, those books should be burned in garbage bins. Oh, I hate those books. Those books were garbage. It was Mike something, and it's the only books he ever wrote for fantasy, and to that I say thank God. Because my God, he didn't do any research. He just made shit up. Oh, those books make me mad. Loving your hair, when did you change it? I changed it because we did a streamathon thingamajigger, and the community raised a lot of money. So this is designed to be a Slayer crest. I can make this into a mohawk, essentially, which is why it's also been dyed red. Mike Lee, that's what it was. Mike Lee. God, I hated that book, or that set of books. And it's always so bad when, like, especially because Games Workshop re-released the Nagash trilogy like fairly recently, and it's also it makes me it genuinely upsets me when I meet someone that's like new to Warhammer and they're like, oh man, I just picked up the Nagash book because I love like Nagash, or I love the undead, and it's like, no, don't read it, don't read that book, don't read it. Everything it says is complete horseshit. Like, there's nothing in those books worth taking away. Unleash the Mohawk? I would. The problem is I can't wear my headphones, but like you can see, it's like I need to shave the sides of my head. It's growing back a little fast, but I've actually, it's because it keeps growing longer and longer. My hair is actually getting like pretty fucking long on the top, but I can't wear it with my headphones, and so I bought like Bluetooth earbuds, but something's wrong with Windows, and I can't, I got a Bluetooth dongle, I put it in my PC, and it won't connect, so I can't, it's super fucking annoying. The whole thing is, it's super annoying. You need to commission Mohawk headphones? They're called earbuds. Those already exist. Aragas the Pillager, thank you for the super chat. I will say Matt Ward wrote something funny when PETA got uppity about Warhammer models having pelts modeled on them and posted it on Twitter. That's a really stupid fucking thing for PETA to say. I'm gonna be honest. Something wrong with Windows? No, of course not. Never. Archlector haircut when? What do you mean, just being bald? Do you mean just being completely bald? Should those books be branded the same thing the 40k books are, just declare them not canon? No, they should just be burned so nobody accidentally reads them. Can I expect Tyrion in Age of Sigmar before I die of old age? I'm 28. Why are they bald? Because they're priests. And I'm trying to remember what the there is a really small note in the roleplay game, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, I think in the Tome of Salvation, that says why they tend to shave their heads. Oh my god, I cannot remember it for the life of me. There's a really weird reason. It's mostly just because a lot of like clerics and priests in medieval era Europe would shave their heads, and that's it. But someone in the roleplay, one of the roleplay authors was like, I'll come up with the bullshit. It was probably Andy Law probably came up with some bullshit reason why they shave their heads. Aragas, Space Skaven for 40k. Wait, that's the Imperium. Dude, Space Skaven, if they released actual Space Skaven for 40k, I would unironically pick up that army and play the fuck out of it, because that army would be so cool. That would be such a kick-ass army. You're right, they are just Space Skaven, and the Emperor is just like a really crippled version of the Great Horned Rat. That's not nearly as interesting. But a man could dream. It's about purity. It could be about purity. It could be a purity thing. It's definitely not an emulation thing, because Sigmar was not bald. Sigmar was never bald. He had hair his entire life. Now, whether or not Sigmar had a beard, that is actually a controversy within the setting. Because there are some people that say he... Oh, we've got starting soon! We've got starting soon! We're close! We're getting closer! 13 minutes! 13 minutes! So if I'm right about the Chaos Dragon, which is the most obvious call-out ever of all time, everyone's gonna gift, like, 5 gift subs, right? I will say, the biggest hopes I have for today, hopes I have for today are Galrauch, not just the Chaos Dragon, but Galrauch specifically. So a specific Galrauch mini, the daughter of Glob Glittermaw as a special character for the Ogre Maw tribes, and let's say... What's a deep cut I could try and... How about... What's a deep cut I could try and predict that would actually be impressive if I'm right? How about a Slaughtermaster special character? We give you 5 subs each, then we can have the NDA secrets. I'll tell you what, if everyone, literally every single person on both YouTube and Twitch gifted 5 members and 5 subs, if every single person did it, sure, I'll break an NDA. Sure. That seems like a reasonable bet. Hormesia, if that two-headed thing is if that two-headed model is two-headed old world Calgar instead of the Chaos Dragon, I'm gonna obliterate Games Workshop. They somehow tend to put everywhere 40k nowadays. Okay, let's be fair. Let's be fair to 40k. It's not that they put 40k in everything. It's that they put Space Marines in everything. And even then, it's not that they put Space Marines in everything. It's that they put Ultramarines in everything. Fucking Calgar. I haven't gotten to play a match of Old World in forever. I really need to get a game in, but I kind of just want to, I really hope the rumors are true about the, pretty sure it was Chaos All-Stars. I think that was the first team Morgenthorpe paid for. But I could, I'm not 100% on that. It could be the Requiem Reavers, but I'm pretty sure, I think it's Chaos All-Stars. But I, oh my god, I completely lost my train of thought. Well, that went somewhere. Hey! Sotek knows his Blood Bowl lore. Let's fucking go. Bias aside, who do you think is going to win today? Probably Age of Sigmar. Age of Sigmar always wins the model offs. Age of Sigmar just has the best sculpts. Which Stormcast Eternal led the first foray into the mortal realms in the Age of Sigmar? Vandus. No, actually, it wasn't. This is actually kind of a trick question. It was Vandus based on this list, but Vandus wasn't actually the first, like, there was, I don't remember his name. I'd have to see it to remember it, but there was actually a guy that was in there before Vandus. But he gets killed. And he's also not a playable character because he gets killed. Don't you like Smurfs? I don't like any Space Marine. Woe betide to all Space Marines that end up before me, for all I hold for them is butchery and contempt. What if they were pulling a switcheroo and instead of Galrauch it was a Cursed Eden? Yeah. Trotter, thank you so much for the 10 gift subs. Thank you so much. This is very kind of you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Was it prosecutors that came in first? Well, they did say hero. Am I single? Yes. Kane. I like how they say Eldari mythology when in literally every single Eldari and Elven pantheon, Vol forged a shitload of swords for Kane. Like, that's the whole point. Unless it's Eldenesh. Unless it's Eldenesh, in which case, never mind. That would be Eldenari exclusive. Eldari exclusive, rather. No, it's Kane. It's the exact same fucking thing in fantasy. Kane's Workshop doesn't know their own goddamn lore. Which Primarch wins in a fight? Where's the options? Which Primarch wins in a fight? Where's the Oh, okay. I feel like this is a controversial question. I feel like some people are gonna get really upset with whatever they pick. Oh, my food's here. Perfect. I'm gonna go get my salad and something to drink. I will be right back. Hold the fort, lads and lasses and non-binaries, whatever. I'll be back. Alrighty. What is the name of the standard variant? It's Niblet! Bro, they're asking about Grom the Paunch. Are we gonna get a new Grom the Paunch mini? Are we gonna get a new Grom the Paunch mini? Wait, did they say everyone else was dead? Did they really say that? Did they say the other Primarchs were dead? That's super funny if so. The infamously violent Blood Bowl player, Akorin the Squirrel, can be found in which Blood Bowl kit? Ooh. I'm missing the Gash question? Oh. I want to say the Squirrel can be found... Ooh, I want to say he's on the Gnome Tree Man. He's either in the Glimdwar Groundhogs or the Gnome Tree Man. I know he's a Gnome model, though. Oh, it's Acorn the Squirrel. Ugh. God, I hate... That's a perfect Blood Bowl character. That's a perfect Blood Bowl character, because it made me like, ugh. Oh, it's the regular Tree Man. Never mind, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm gonna have to turn in my Blood Bowl Lore Master license, which I didn't apply for anyway. Alright. I'm gonna try and choke down a salad here. It just means I can reward myself with a shitty dinner. Kislev for Blood Bowl or Cathay? That would be fucking hype. Kislev would be easier because there's more support for it. Because we already had the Kislev Circus as a Blood Bowl team in the past. Yeah, I know Ross is live. If y'all want to watch with him, that's totally fine. Parmesia, my bet for the old world. Dark Elves are coming, Chaos Giant, Manticore / Chimera, Dual Kit, Chaos War Shrine, and Forsaken Warriors with 3 variants and Knights. Woo, that's a pretty spicy set of options there. Calgar has a middle name? He has a last name? I still want to say, it's complete bullshit that the Swarm Lord didn't kill Calgar. We would all be in a better place. Which of the following did not claim its own emperor in the Age of 3 Emperors? Interesting. I want to say Nordland. I don't remember a Stirland Emperor. I don't think I'm pretty sure Nordland did not declare an emperor though. I'm not actually sure on this one. Hey! Yeah, Nordland did not have the pull to try and get an emperor. That was not going to happen. Do I like boiled eggs? I suppose now is as good a time as any to find out. Yeah, they're alright. And they're healthy for you too. I prefer my eggs scrambled, but... He says, waggling his eyebrows. Chicken's good. Wish it didn't come with bacon though. Stirland was brought under Talabecland eventually, but I believe there was a period where Stirland did declare their own emperor. One minute! I gotta go with the octopus, dude. I gotta go with the octopus familiar. Alright, I'm gonna turn off the Mechanicus music. Here we go, here we go, here we go! Y'all ready? Can we see some excitement? Can we see some hype? Hey, I won. Y'all ready for the war? But there's probably... Oh, no, there will be orcs. There should be 40k orcs. Why y'all slamming my chat with these? Whoa! The Time of 3 Emperors had more than 3 Emperors. It did, at several points. Here we go!
Exciting preview. This is the big summer Warhammer preview. I am Adam Troke. This is Eddie Eccles, and we're delighted to
Adam's
have
a very nice guy.
Yeah, this is going to be a really cool preview. We've got stuff.
I had the
loads
privilege of
game
meeting him in
system
person,
to show you loads of Warhammer
last
to
year.
talk about. We think about 90 minutes. Of
Very,
stuff.
very
Yeah,
Right.
should run to about that long, depending on how fast we talk and how sidetracked we get by all the details. But yeah, for the next hour and a half or so, we're going to fill
An hour and
the
a
air
half?
with loads of cool Warhammer things. We've got things to cover from Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Warhammer the Old World, Warhammer Necromunda, Warhammer Blood Bowl, Warhammer Horus Heresy, and Legions Imperialis. Have I forgotten anything?
Kill Team.
Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team. So loads to go
Loads of
through.
different systems. It's not every single system.
Can we
that
start
make.
with
There are a few
40K
systems
so I can
we
eat?
couldn't quite squeeze
Absolutely.
in. So we haven't got any Warcry for you. We haven't got any Underworld.
Or Middle Earth.
We haven't got any Middle Earth. But we'll have stuff on all of those game systems in the not too distant future.
Absolutely. So keep your eyes on warhammercommunity.com if you want to hear about the news on those as it happens. Meanwhile, while the chat fills up and we get ready to kick off,
Can y'all
there's
hear
a few
okay?
things we normally do. The first thing is that we ask people in the chat where you're from. I was looking at the chat as people answered the.
I
Yeah,
enjoyed the
chat,
quiz.
where
the
you're
quiz was
from.
fun, right?
Good fun.
Did you get any right? Any
I
wrong?
got all of them right, obviously, Adam.
Very
But
good.
I
Where
did
are all
also
you
have right
dinguses
questions,
from?
So I did have cheated a bit.
Perfect. I was doing all right myself, and I saw where some people are from. We've got people from Texas. There's people from all around the UK, lot from Europe as well. I saw some France and some Germany. So wherever you are in this global Warhammer community, welcome to this.
The
preview. We're
land of
delighted that you would
friendship.
choose to spend some time with us.
Yep, absolutely. Are you doing any hobby recently, Adam?
I found doing hobby a bit hard. Been very busy.
I do
Also,
not
the
want
weather
chicken
is
down my
It's been a bit
esophagus.
warm,
Thank you.
hasn't
anathema to painting
Yeah.
right now here in the UK. We are getting burninated.
Or no, I
but
do want
I
it down
put
my
together
esophagus.
everything that was on the Space Marine side.
I
of
forget,
my
is the
Armageddon
esophagus
box,
part of the
including
path to the
sort of
stomach,
Dark
or is it
Angel,
only to the
Dark Angeling,
lungs?
Is that a word?
I think why not?
The
Yeah.
models with some extra details.
I'm not
on
a
the panels
doctor.
and things like that. What about you?
Bit of Eldari, painting some of them. Doing a little bit of Caradrons.
I'm working on a mini. I'm working on a
Did
mini.
you finish your cock?
I did finish my Cog Fort. Yes.
Perfect.
I'm working
Good
on a
time.
mini.
I
Look at
bet
me.
it
It was on walk.
I can actually
It
say
was,
that.
yeah.
I got it all primed.
So, meanwhile, the other thing I've been doing to fill a little
I got
bit
a lot
more
of work
hobby
to do.
time is I've been sort of theory hammering some army lists using the Warhammer 40,000
Yes.
app.
Yes.
And I've
The
been
burning
looking at.
waste.
I saw somebody had made a really
Your
interesting
mom's?
little video
Well,
on
then I should
Instagram
have
or
seen you
somewhere
downstairs.
about how you could use the Fulgurist detachment, which is like land speed eccentric. And so I'm trying to work out how I can synergize that with all of my Raven Wing.
I'm thinking of the
very
trachea. Ah, thank you.
fast-moving, sort of attacking and deep striking in force. That could be really
Yeah, a lot of people doing Warhammer 40,000 army list
Ow.
theorying.
Yeah, I've been
aren't
caught up
they?
in the wave, I think. What about you?
Yeah, obviously, I've got one list for every single faction in 40k. That
And
I'm
you've played your first official
I
game of the new
played
edition.
one game, one official game of the new edition so far with my Eldar against some Tau.
You were undefeated, retire now.
So far, undefeated.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Right, so
Oh, hold on a second.
thank you so much for joining us.
I gotta fix
we hope
Ross's
you have a nice
stream.
time. We are going to start off the show by going to the grim darkness of the far future, and we're going to talk about
Hooray,
some
I
things
don't
for
care how
Warhammer
this works.
40,000.
Mhm.
So here we are with Warhammer 40,000 Armageddon, the launch box for the new edition, sort of out there in the wild. It's worth talking about some of the things that are coming up. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is how new people to Warhammer might get started in the Warhammer 40,000 hobby with some Warhammer 40,000 starter sets. So here is the Warhammer 40,000 starter set. We've got one in the flesh. This is an enormous box and is the perfect way if you've never played Warhammer 40,000 before and want to get started to jump straight into the hobby. Eddie, what can you tell us about it?
There we go. Can you guys hear that?
We did know that some of the
There you
notices
go.
from
He's
the
got it.
Warhammer 40,000 Armageddon set would be available in other sets in the future. This is one of the first places you'll be able to get hold of them. So in this, you effectively have a combat patrol of space
Who is
marines.
is anybody
Those
getting the
Marines
starter
can take
set?
Whatever color you want. You've also got a combat patrol of orcs. You've also got a battlefield of stuff to play across, and effectively
Also,
a
no
combat
spoilers.
patrol's worth of
No
battlefield
spoilers. If
terrain
y'all see-
for combat patrol.
If
So,
y'all
like,
see shit
Yeah,
on like their
absolutely. This is
website or
essentially
whatever,
everything you
don't
need to,
spoil.
get started with your first games of Warhammer 40,000 all in one box. All the models are
Anybody
pushed
get
it, the
starter
terrain's
set?
really easy to put together. It's got the game board and all of the pieces. Marked
Mods,
out
you
to
have
put
my
the terrain
permission
on,
to time
so you
out
can just
anyone that
play
spoils
straight out
shit.
of this box if you want to.
Yeah, it's also got all the rules and stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got your core rules and then the sort of the guide for using the models that are in the box. So this is the first of the starter products that we're going to talk about right now, but there's more to come. So, what if you wanted to get started in Warhammer 40,000? You don't want the 2-player launch set, and you
Who would want to get started in Warhammer
a
40,000?
starter set which focuses on one of the factions. Well, this is getting started with Space Marines, and is the same combat patrol that you saw in the previous box, and it comes complete with the paints that you would need to do your first paint jobs on these models. I think it's 11 paints in the set, so you can get started right away with the Adeptus.
That's a nice set.
And this is perfect if you've already got a gaming group, they've already got their box sets, they've split them all up, and you've got an odd number of players, and what if you want Space Marines, you can grab yourself this set and start playing straight away. This is your self-contained little starter set for Space Marines.
It will perhaps surprise nobody to know there is an Orc equivalent of this.
Yes, this is almost exactly the same,
there you go.
green.
There you go.
So you have the combat patrol for orcs, then you've got a bunch of variously orky paints. So this is a great little set if you want to kick off an orc army.
Yeah, and I think one of the things to note here, you've already said it, but if you're just looking to sort of join in with an existing group, or maybe just start one of these armies for the first time and you're already in Warhammer 40,000, this really is a great way to do it, because you get the paints you would need to kickstart that painting process too.
Or if you just have an orc army and just want loads more
Just want a bunch of
boys, just want
reinforcements.
loads more orcs.
Yeah, no kidding. There's another way to get started as well, which is this introductory set, and I find this one to be quite exciting. You've got some Space Marines and some Orcs and some paints, and you can have a gaming experience, but it's really sort of
That's like
first steps into
$50.
Warhammer 40,000 gaming and
That would
hobby
actually be a
experience.
really
Yeah, it's
nice
a little bit of everything.
set.
And the thing that's cool about this to point out
Comes
is
with
that
a ruler,
while the other sets, the miniatures
paintbrush,
are the same
dice,
ones from the Warhammer
paints,
40,000 Armageddon
and
set,
what,
these
10
ones are brand new miniatures. So you've
12
got 5
minis?
intercessors in there. You've got a Space Marine Lieutenant. It's been like a whole week since we had a new Space Marine
If
Lieutenant.
couldn't have come
that's
Had to have
super
one.
cheap,
And
that's
then you've got a
actually
new
really
unit
nice
of
kit.
Orc Boys. Orc Boys are the same kind of unit as the ones you get in Armageddon, but they've got different poses.
Who has
and
more glove
critically,
shadows?
You've also got some
40K
heavy and
or
special
Warhammer?
weapons
Yeah, you've
in
got
the
a
Orc
big
squad.
shooter and a rocket launcher inside.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So you want to
fourth
add in some
edition?
extra shooting
Probably
into
Warhammer
your
4th edition.
big orc mobs you can, and all
Actually,
the
no,
characters
it's
are kind of
definitely
new
40K.
poses as well. So it's quite a cool little set.
I get
The
weirdly
amount
excited
of
about
glove
all the
shadows
different
just
poses
among
and
the
incessant
Space Marines
these
is,
little
like,
push fit ones to find them easy to build.
staggering.
And so I'm hoping somebody will split that set with me, Eddie. Just hinting. There you go. We're on. Right. There's also some paint sets. This is the paints and tool set. This would synergize perfectly with that Warhammer 40,000 starter set where you get the combat patrols. It's got 13 paints, clippers, mold line removing tool, and a brush. Everything you need to get started with your painting journey. If you've never painted Warhammer models before, this would be a decent pickup.
Yeah, this is a lovely little set. I started with a set a lot like this when I started playing Warhammer. You can paint almost anything with this box because you've got all your primary colours and then black and white and your metallics and some really useful little tools. So this is just a really solid base for a paint.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want one a little more themed towards a particular army, you can start with this, which is very much like the set I started painting with Warhammer, which was an Orcs paint set back in the day. This is boys and paints. So you've got 6 paints and a brush and a couple of Orc boys and a grot. Again, just dip your toe into the painting experience and see how you get along. There's a Space Marine equivalent, which is intercessors and paints. Again, 6 paints, a brush, and 2 Space Marine intercessors. Ooh, deep breath. That was a lot.
Man, they're
of
going
ways
crazy
to
on the
start
starter
your
kits.
Warhammer 40,000 experience, and I think it'd be a good time to like introduce your friends or the family member or relative or whatever that you want to like.
It's a
try and
really
convince to
good
play.
time to start playing Warhammer 40,000 because it's a brand new edition out. Everyone's kind of in the same place. Everyone's learning the rules together. This is the perfect time to hop in.
Nice, I love it. So it follows on quite nicely. We're going to talk about some terrain now. So we've got some
Why do
really
they make
interesting
this
terrain
chicken-
kits to
these
point
chunks of
out and
chicken
talk
so
about. The first
fucking
is
big?
Combat Patrol Battle Zone. So this is
Goddamn,
all of the
dude, just
terrain you
chop it up a
see here
little.
in a box, along with the game boards and the
I
tiles
don't need
to,
like half
the
a
terrain
chicken.
prints to put the
Or
terrain on.
bite.
This is everything you need in one box to play a complete game of Combat Patrol.
Yeah. And if you've already bought the starter set, if you add this box onto the starter set, you effectively have a full board's worth of terrain for something like an incursion or 2,000 point game of Warhammer 40,000, or in a self-contained set, it is the.
Are they going to be
exact
announcing
right
who
amount of stuff to
won
play
the
Yeah, and worth pointing out,
Space Marine versus
this
Orcs
one,
thing
this,
today?
like the models in the starter set, are unpainted. So all of these terrain pieces, they come on
Or is
the,
that still
the
going?
grey plastic that you're familiar with, easy to put together, and then you can paint them in the color scheme that suits your board at home.
Gotta
or
get that
your armies
protein.
or
Well, I'm gonna
whatever
eat
you
it all. I just don't want it all
this
in like
set,
one giant
Combat
fucking
Patrol
bite.
set comes in around the same price as a Combat Patrol itself.
Perfect. Right. If you want to add more things to it, or you just want to focus on building a terrain board that suits your own preferences, we've got a few little terrain sets to talk about. This is the Manufactorum Ruins, which are those sort of classic building shapes that you often see on battlefields. There's some of these in that Combat Patrol set that we just showed you before. There's more. There's also the Galvanic Network. This represents these power lines and things that run across the sort of ash wastes of Armageddon. and is a wonderful way to
So it just adds a little
to your
salt.
battlefield. And then you've got the capacitor cluster here, which looks like it's writhing with electricity, and you've got like a really unfortunate servitor trapped in the console at the front.
Yeah, life's pretty tough for servitors in Warhammer 40,000.
It is. It's not the best. Now, all of that is really exciting terrain. All comes unpainted, and is all coming fairly soon down the pipe.
That's absolutely
There's
true.
something else we need to explain to people that you've already talked about a little bit with
Don't
Amy
eat it.
on a video before.
It does not add
That's absolutely
nutritional
right.
value
Currently,
to my
all
salad.
the terrain in my collection is Eddie painted. Very
Perfect.
soon, I'll be able to also benefit from ready painted terrain. This is the new ready painted Battlefield Armageddon box.
I really hope they
And this
release
is
pre-painted
everything you
fantasy
need
terrain. I'll buy
for
the
a
fuck
full
out of that.
incursion-sized game of Warhammer 40,000 in one box, and all of the terrain in this comes ready painted and ready to go.
Yeah, the box is enormous. It is jam-packed with absolutely loads of fantastic terrain, and we've got one here to open. So what we thought we'd do is actually just crack one open and build one of the terrain pieces in it,
So
nice and
while-
quickly to
Oh
show you
my
what
God,
it's
how
like.
long
While
is
Adam
this gonna
tells you
take?
about it, I'm going to build one of the terrain pieces in here
Great.
to show you how quickly we
Get
can make
clipping, right. So what we've got is some nice pictures to show you while Eddie gets feverishly to work. So here you can see what you're dealing with. Essentially, it is a full battlefield's worth of already painted terrain. Try and talk over the rummaging and crashing of Eddie. The set comes with the game boards that you need. It has the terrain markers, so you know where to put your terrain pieces onto. And obviously, the terrain is painted to ready painted to a brilliant standard. So if you are looking to just clip things out from the frames, put it together quickly, and start playing a game of Warhammer 40,000 on a battlefield that looks really good, this is a wonderful way to do it. It's going to be enormously popular with people who, like me at home. I've already got my own terrain board, but if I wanted to host a game night and I wanted maybe like 3 friends to come over so we could like play round robin style games, this would enable me to do it nice and quickly. You can imagine gaming clubs and tournaments, and all of those people who have a need for a nice looking battlefield quickly are going to find this to be really exciting.
Feel free to hold that one up. if you
Oh,
wanna
there you
show
go.
people
I'll
the
show you what it
details.
looks like. Here you go. If we get a zoom in on this. So this is a piece directly
pretty
off
nice.
of the frame that Eddie has just worked on. And you can see the level of detail. You've got the fantastic glow effects around the sort of the lumens and the candles and so on. Inside, you can see the interior detail. Some within the sort of the walls, you can see this sort of chipped and very nicely done sort of corrosion dripping down the walls. Really is a very impressive
Like,
piece of terrain.
For
there,
for
almost there.
pre-painted, they
So
look
now
great.
we've got 2. Now I always try and put these together too early, so I don't want to ruin doing it. So essentially, it just push fits.
And
One
as
of
a
the things
man
we've
that would
discovered, the,
never, ever
guys
in a
who run
million
our
years
global
wanna paint
events are
terrain.
really excited about this because it's going to enable them to put
Like-
together large battlefields very quickly, and you can also unclip these things when you're ready to and put it back into a relatively
So I think-
small space.
Yeah, the
There
whole
you go.
thing, actually, if you leave the kind of floors off, then the whole thing... Oh, I need to clip out those. A bit
We need to do a bit more clipping.
more
There you
clipping.
go.
Tiny bit more clipping. If you take the floors out, the whole thing packs back into the box,
There you go.
pretty much. So that's pretty easy.
Which is nice if you're looking for somewhere to store your models.
And I am. I think we're almost there, almost there.
Perfect. So one of the things I think that's quite nice about this is I speed painted my entire battlefield, but it took me all of a Saturday to build and then all of a Sunday to speed paint, and it's still not of the same quality as the completion on this. And so you've done the first
Ta-da!
building in what? The amount of time it's taken us to talk
Honestly?
about this. There we go. Moving it around. And it really does look wonderful. You can see the bulkhead door and everything.
That's not
inside
bad.
it. I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah,
about
I think
it.
I'm pretty pleased with this. I'm quite pleased with the effect I've got on some of the glow there as
No
well.
glue?
The dry
No
brushing
paint?
Are you
I've achieved on
taking
this.
credit
Literally
for this
just a
work?
pair of
Yeah, I
colours?
just made this. You all saw it. So
Lovely.
That's not bad.
Nice. So this is on its way later in the year. It will come behind all of the other starter products that we just talked about.
That's not bad at all.
And so you're looking more towards the autumn time or beyond, right?
Yeah, and in terms of price, this one comes in. It has twice as much terrain as the Combat Patrol Battlefield, and it comes in at a little bit more than the cost of 2 Combat Patrols.
There you go. So yeah, really exciting. Whew.
That's such a
Okay,
funny
so,
way to say
we
price.
Talked about
A
all of
bit
the
more
starters,
than
we
2
talked about all
combat
the
patrols,
terrain,
or what,
ready
like
paint,
180
terrain, very
bucks?
exciting. I guess we should talk a little bit about the things that are coming along with the first Codex of
Yeah,
11th
we should
edition.
probably do that.
So it's time to look at some orcs.
You want some whales?
Mute, 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 mute. There we go. It's a big truck and a bigger truck. Orcs, how we feeling? Makes sense. How you feeling, Orky boys?
to be an orc this year, isn't it?
It is. They are getting absolutely spoiled. We can confirm today the first codex is orcs, and alongside the codex, there are a whole bunch of new miniatures. One of the most exciting miniatures on its way is that new truck and that new mech, which are on their way.
Should we talk about the mech first?
Let's do the mech first. So, orc mechs, those of you who know orcs will know, these are the mechanics that basically put together all of the weird and wonderful creations that's going to battle alongside your orcs. They are surprisingly good at science.
Odd boys.
I like that. That's a cool mini.
Things out of
I like his
gene-coded,
back. I like
innate,
the
kind of
crane on his
inherited
back.
knowledge
That's so
in terms
funny.
of how to make things like teleporters and trucks and guns and
I
shooters.
wish I had those skills.
I
I'd be
mean,
much
you know,
more
if you
useful
apply
around the
yourself, I'm
house.
sure you can do it. But yeah, this is a really cool miniature. It has a kind of really thematic. He's got a kind of spanner clobber thing there. He's got
That's a cool hero.
But the thing that he really does is kind of bring with him all of the awesome machines that make Orc Army so fun to play in Warhammer 40,000.
So with no further ado, let's talk about the truck then, which is maybe the star of that show. This is the new Orc truck. It's an evolution of the classic Orc truck that you know and love. A little bit bigger, a few more options, and is really just wonderful to look at. It comes with a variety of options in terms of weapon mounts. You've got the big shooter, you've got the rocket launcher, you have options for a grabber claw and a buzzsaw, and all of those can be swapped in positions on the top so that you can build different configurations to have some great variety as you're making your trucks.
Yeah, this is a phenomenally cool miniature. Like, the current truck is really cool, right?
Absolutely.
The truck that is in current Orc armies is a perfectly good vehicle, but it's been with us for a long time now, right? Like, it's been
What is it, 15 years?
something
more?
like that. Yeah, it's been around for a while. This is a beautiful reinvention of it. The thing that really makes this is the fact that you can build it in so many different ways. Where the pintle mount goes, where the close combat weapon goes, how the boys are positioned, what the driver looks like.
Even
what
here
goes
on the screen, you can see the way it looks like it's going around the corner.
Definitely not the
Yeah,
best
you can
salad
kind of
I've
play
had.
with where the wheels are, and I think
It's not
especially if you've
terrible,
gone
though.
for a really heavy sort of Evil Sons or Speed Freak style army, and you want to have a bit of variety in your force, this one kit with no changes at all from what comes in the box can be built enough times that you would never need to replicate what a single truck looks like.
Yeah, so we've got a couple here on the desk. The one I'm most excited by is
First
one with
Codexes
this
and Space
awesome-looking
Marines, I'm
skull
shook at.
prowl
Oh, did
at
the Orcs
It
win
just
the
looks
event?
So, like, mean and orky. This sort of whole skull motif for the Orcs.
Just
is
waiting for
so
Tyranids and
iconic.
40k
really
Total War
fantastic.
then play.
Now, what we
Dude, I
wanted to do, the
cannot
reason we brought these
wait
along,
for
so I
Tyranids
can
and Total War
sandwich
40k.
this little guy
Get
in
make some
between them,
space in the parking
and
lot
just
there.
show you, if you've already got some Orc trucks in your collection, how nice they're going to look. Don't want to mangle the models, Adam. I know, right? So this is how it looks with the classic truck in between. It's a really good look. I think
Yeah,
people are going to
if
be
you've
very
already
happy.
got some trucks in your army, you can absolutely keep them alongside these new ones.
No, it's good.
I think there's something to be said for an Orc army. It's got a bit of a ramshackle look to it. So you could replace them completely, or if you want to have a mix, that's absolutely fine. But I think the new ones just bring, they just look great. They've got so many cool options.
Yeah, I agree.
They're going to look phenomenal.
Nice.
I should
So,
have got a small
that's
coat, not
a
a
couple of
full-size one.
fantastic brand new kits coming for the Orcs. There's more on the way that people might be able to learn about through the progress of the Deathmire.
Yeah, that's right. So there's lots of Orc stuff still to come. Some of the stuff we're showing you today, some of it will be revealed potentially if the Orcs do well in the Siege of Deathmire campaign that's currently running. So
Nope,
if you want
it's
to see
still
some more Orcs, play some games, send in your results, and you might get to see some more very, very soon. There are a few other boxes to talk about today, though. We've got the other stuff from Armageddon as well.
Yeah, that's right. So essentially, if you wanted to pick up some of the things from Armageddon or duplicate them, we're going to be releasing the Dakar rig separately, the War Track separately, and the Weird Boy separately, and also the other sort of command staff. Is that the right word for an orc?
Sure, why not?
So the banner knob, the big boss, and the pain boy will be releasing a command preset as well. So there's a whole bunch of extra stuff to come. We should probably talk a bit about the Codex itself, though,
Yes.
right? So obviously, this is the first Codex of 11th edition, and it heralds something really exciting in terms
that's
of a
art.
format change for Warhammer 40,000 Codex.
Whoa!
So here
It
you
comes
can
in a
see
slip
it's
cover?
contained in a slipcase, and we've got one live in front of you. So it's a perfect bound book, slightly smaller than the Codex is in terms of the height, but it is really thick and is packed with
Interesting.
an
So it's a
incredible amount of
softback
orky content.
book with
178
a
Perfect.
man.
And,
That book
the
looks
first thing
huge.
that I would like to just eulogize on is how incredible the lore section.
there,
of
the
this is.
pages
We are
are
talking
really
a
thick,
really
one of the
thick
two.
lore section, which is everything you would want
That's
to
a
know. about
good-looking
the orcs
army
and how they
book,
operate.
dude. I wish the
It's got a
AOS army
gatefold
books
map
looked
you
like
can see
that.
here, which is the
I like the
orky
slipcover.
perspective on the galaxy, all the places that the orcs are fighting, all the different wars that are taking place. But there's a lot more to it than that. It talks about the orcs, where they come from, how they fight, their culture, the different clan structures. Literally the most complete guide on orcs you could hope for.
That's
And
a
perhaps
good-looking
the most
army book,
information
dude.
on orcs there's ever been in one place. every unit gets its own full.
Can we get ages? Can we get Warhammer Old World books that look like that? Fucking please!
Like, it's really great. But also, some people might be interested in the
please.
Yeah, so
can we
one
get
of the
Old
big
World
changes
books that look like
to
that?
the rules in this codex versus the previous ones was in the last edition there was quite a lot of rules in your codex, but quite a lot of them you couldn't use in all the different types of games. So if some of it you could only use in Crusade games, for example, all of the rules in this codex, and there are at least as many rules in this one as there were in the last one, you can use in every type of game. One of the ways that manifests, you'll immediately notice, is the amount of detachments that you get to play with. There are 15 different orc detachments in this codex.
That's loads of ways to use
loads of different ways to put your army together, ranging from lots of different sizes in terms
you
of
play a
detachment
Grunt
points.
army?
It gives you a huge variety of different ways that you can potentially put an army together. Some of these you could probably guess at the themes. There are like some fast ones, some stompy ones.
Yeah, the Flyboys gives itself away, doesn't
right,
it?
like so there's some ones you could probably guess at, but there'll be loads of brand new ways that you could put
Bro,
together an army that's just never been possible before, and it gives you a sense of what codexes will feel like in the new edition, where they will bring this
the Arcane
huge
Journals to
variety
look like
of
that.
list
That book
building
looks
opportunities.
so nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's more to it than just the detachments.
God
Obviously, the rules have been looked at by the Warhammer rules team, and they've come up with some things. This is the army special rule, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah, so War, right? You can't have War. You can't have an Orc Codex without War. The War rule has changed a little bit.
Reroll advances.
So there'll be some things that are familiar.
5-up
invuln. It
all
still allows
ranged
you
attacks have
to
assault.
run and charge, but
you can advance and charge. Holy moly!
It also lets you have assault on all of your weapons, which is a thing it didn't used to do. So that means that if you've gone for a very shooty army, like
holy moly,
of like bikes and buggies and things,
they run in and shoot.
Yeah,
boys.
that's immediately really useful. And it also gives you the riled up ability, which triggers all sorts of things across all the sorts of different bits of the codex, where other units will become more powerful, and you still get that invulnerable save as well to make your.
It's a really great.
It's a really, really good rule for one turn of the game. You have a great turn.
That's a pretty good. That's a
and
pretty
then
good
all of the
rule.
units within the codex have had their data sheets looked at. So here's the truck that we just showed you before, and you can see what's gone on with it. So you can see the different weapon options and things to give you a sense of what it means for your codex.
Yeah, so
Invuln
what
just
expect, it
means
still kind of has a
your armor
stat
can't
line
go
to
lower
what the
than
truck does
that,
at
right?
the moment. It is a kind of
But
medium.
it's not the same as a feel no
The
pain.
things that you'll notice are that it
Or
has
a
more
ward
weapon
save.
options than it used to. So you've got
Because I used to
options
think the
there for
invuln was a
combat
ward
weapons,
save, but
different shooting
now
weapons.
And piling out is quite.
I can't
Yeah,
remember if
you've
that's
got a
what
really
it is
cool
or
little
not.
mechanic where if an enemy unit gets nearby, something like a unit of fire dragons or eliminators or something is ready to kind of ready to kill your truck, you can pile the boys out, ready to kind of countercharge or to avoid being caught in the explosion or something like that. It's a really useful little rule that's got some quite.
When is your Path to
neat little
Glory
tactical
match
plays you can
this
do with
week?
It. So I think
tomorrow.
It's going to be very useful.
Yeah, perfect. And then in terms of other data sheets being looked at, it'd be worth looking at the Orc Boys, who really have had something of a stat line glow up, it's fair to say.
Yeah, there's a lot going on
Good God.
this data sheet, and I think I would recommend if you've got an Orc army, take a screenshot. There's
Yeah,
some cool stuff
now
there.
is the moment to record this.
There's the first thing you'll notice is there's loads of weapon
Oh,
options.
it's the equivalent
one
of
of
a
the
ward
things
save.
we
Okay.
got asked a lot about the Armageddon box was, is that all the options that the Orcs will have in the new edition?
Oh no,
Absolutely
invuln
isn't.
is an
You've got
ethereal
loads
save.
of different choices.
In fact,
You
more
can-
than you've had
okay.
recently.
more than I think you've ever had for an Orc unit. You've got some classic stuff returning, so you've got a burner.
And then
back
feel
in
no
the
pain is
fan
more
of
like
not
a
having
ward
rolled to
save.
hit.
Okay,
which
cool.
is pretty cool. You've got loads of different options for your boss's weapon. And the thing I want to draw your attention to is almost kind of tucked away right at the bottom of that stat line there is the strength of a basic Orc boy is now 5. And that is an across the codex update.
Basic
to
bitch
your
orcs are
orcs.
strength
Every single
5?
orc is at least strength 5 all of the time now. So that goes for boys,
Oh
it
my
also goes for
God.
your kind of beast snaggers, and all of the things like your knobs and war bosses and everything get a commensurate increase as well. So your already pretty
Damn.
scary orcs get even scarier all the time in close
How
combat.
strong are Space
Fantastic.
Marines?
I think it just looks like a load of great information. I'm really excited
I'm gonna
about this
have a great
codex.
Are Space Marines
Yeah,
4 or 5?
And it heralds something really interesting. The last thing to talk about with the codex is, obviously, in the back of it, it includes the code.
Bro,
that you will put into your Warhammer
orcs have been
40,000
hitting
app
the
to
gym.
unlock and access
God
the
damn.
rules. It does something else on top of that. This is kind of like your passport to
Orcs are
ongoing
strength
content
5,
for
toughness
your
5. That is
Warhammer 40,000
bonkers.
Orc codex throughout its lifespan. There will be regular
Space Marines are strength 4?
drops of
Oh
lore
boy,
and
Space Marine fans
rules
are going to be
so that you can
pissed.
continue to
Space Marine fans
get
are going to be
great stuff out of your
pissed.
codex as
If they
the
are
time
still only
continues.
strength 4
They've
when
given
their
us a
book
sneak
comes
peek
out,
into some of the stuff that's coming, and it sounds both really cool.
oh
and
man,
really
they're gonna
fun.
be
So
so
I'm quite
mad.
excited to
They're
see
gonna be
what
so
happens
mad.
with that. And then I imagine all the other codexes that follow.
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. So, yeah, the first Codex coming
That
down
would be
the pipe
so
is
funny if
Warhammer
basic
Plus-
orcs are stronger
Warhammer
than Space
40,000
Marines. That would be
orcs,
very
and it
funny
looks
to me.
Amazing.
Do stick around. We have more Warhammer 40,000 for you later in the preview.
Yes,
as
yeah,
well,
we'll be
so do stick
returning
around.
to the 41st
Of course.
millennium, later on in the show. For now, though, we're going to segue into something which is quite interesting. We've talked a lot about ways to get people who are new to Warhammer started with Warhammer 40,000. So let's talk for a little bit about the Warhammer Academy.
I gotta mute this because Games Workshop always copyrights all their shit. Hi, Trickster. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the wall. Space Razor Strength 6. Honestly, would not surprise me. That would be typical Games Workshop one-upism. I wish I could watch these things with sound. But I can't. Because Games Workshop, for some goddamn reason, uses copyright stuff. Warhammer Academy. Path of the Gamer. Man, they're really trying to get new people into the
Wizard
game.
beneath the mountain. What is the Warhammer Academy?
I'm so glad you asked, Eddie. Warhammer Academy is a really exciting thing that we've been working on behind the scenes here at Games Workshop for a while now, and is the perfect way to answer the question, how do I get started with Warhammer? The idea is that people can come to this website, which is free to use, and they can get.
What are we watching? We're
guided
watching
first
the
steps
Warhammer
on how
reveal
to
show
begin,
for
exploring
all the new
Warhammer.
stuff at the tabletop
So
game.
there's going to be at launch like well over 100 videos, which are all video lessons that deal with the lore and collecting, with painting and modeling, and with gaming, to get you on your first steps. I'm out of breath. I had to throw this costume on to get you started on your sort of first steps through Warhammer. When the website launches, it will focus on Warhammer 40,000 to coincide alongside all of these new starter products.
Of course
so
it
people
will.
can like experience Warhammer for the first time and go through sort of learning all about the universe and what the factions and the armies are. And
You can watch it
really
with sound
going
and
on
mute the
that same
audio
journey
track for the
that we've all
stream.
been when we
Shut
joined
up.
the Sound
That's
Champion who's told
quiet,
us all
you
about
with
what
your
Warhammer is.
smart advice.
And
That's
then
very
the
intelligent.
techniques, put together these amazing
Just-
videos that start really basic and then go all the way through to some really great techniques that will have your army looking fantastic.
Is there a
And then
chance
the
of Total War
gaming
DLC
side
reveal
takes it
today?
from
No.
The assumption you've never played a game of Warhammer
There will be
before
Total War news
and
on
takes you all the way
Tuesday.
through to playing your
think.
first games of Combat Patrol, which we
Pretty
played
sure.
and had a lot of fun with. And so you should be able to have a wonderful experience. If you are completely new to Warhammer, or there's somebody in your life that wants to get started, this is a wonderful thing to point them towards when we launch it, and they'll be able to take their first steps. If you want to sharpen
Today
your
is
own
just
skills, we
Games
talked
Workshop
about,
stuff, so it's
when
like
we were working on the
miniatures
Academy, the idea that
and
you can build your skills, your
tabletop stuff.
confidence, and your experience to
And
get
books.
the most out of this wonderful Warhammer
Be some
hobby that
books.
we all enjoy. And so the whole purpose of this academy, which is free to use, is to just get on board and sharpen those skills and your confidence and have a great time.
Sounds wonderful.
Nice. And the releases alongside those Warhammer 40,000 starter sets that we talked about previously. So not long now, a month or so, and then you'll be able to see Warhammer Academy for yourself.
Sounds great.
What's in the
Perfect. I'm really
box?
excited. Right. Now I'm going to get out of this costume, and while we do, let's travel to the old world.
Old world! Okay, I'm gonna mute the audio here so I can listen to it. Oh, Chaos Knights! Yeah, we're getting a core set! We're getting a core set! No new Cathay stuff, unfortunately, it looks like. It looks like it's just the same minis that we've already had. But we're finally getting a starter box! We're finally getting a starter box! So we got new Warriors of Chaos, new Chaos Knights. Battle Standard Bearer. Chaos Lord on horse. Oh, Lord on Chaos. Oh my god, it looks so good. Oh, the Sorcerer Lord. Oh my god, look at that Chaos Dragon. It looks so good.
Welcome back.
It looks
I've
so
returned to normal, and we
good!
are now thrilled by some
Bro,
news
the
for
Chaos
Warhammer,
Dragon
the
looks
Old World.
amazing.
That was a great looking box of miniatures.
Oh,
there's a lot to
that
talk
looks
about. We've
so
got some of the
good.
models here to get close-ups on in a little while. For now, let's dive into that new 2-player box for Warhammer the Old World. This features
Oh,
two
looks so
armies
good.
going head-to-head. You have the army of Grand Cathay going up against the Chaos Warriors. So within it, you will see in a moment the Cathay.
The Chaos
Force.
model
This
is actually a
Grand
really interesting
Cathay.
aesthetic.
They're fairly recent additions.
Yeah, they're quite unique.
Those are
Well,
chunky boys.
and this is an army you'll have already seen before. So you've got the Jade Warriors.
Bro,
you've got
there's
the Jade
finally
Lancers.
a
Units that you'll
goddamn
be familiar
starter
with.
set for Old
And they're
World.
taking a big part in the sort of ongoing.
So no Galrauch. I
struggles
mean,
in the
it
Old
is
World at the moment.
Galrauch.
They
You just build him
dispatch
without the rider.
Force to aid against the Chaos
He
invasion.
doesn't seem to
It's a
have a
beautiful army.
bespoke mini though.
You've
That
seen
is
it
true.
before. The showstopper for this new box is the wonderful new range of all
Bro,
plastic
they are
Warriors of Chaos, which
chunky.
you'll find in the other half of this
Like
box set.
the
So here you can
Chaos
see the
armor
Chaos
looks
Warriors themselves.
so.
Yeah, this is
thick.
an amazing update to your Warhammer Old World Warriors of Chaos. Warriors of Chaos, of course,
Holy
one of the
moly.
archetypal villains, well, the archetypal visuals, really, of Warhammer, the Old World. This is a really cool army.
Some interesting
All the bits in
callbacks
this
to some
are
older
multi-part,
helmet designs.
And these are all
That one in
brand
particular.
new plastic miniatures.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Oh, they're
Chaos
plastic.
Warriors are
Good,
kind of
good,
the
good,
mainstay
good.
of the Warriors of Chaos army. These are elite heavy infantry in the best armor that you can get in Warhammer the Old World, and they stride forward in ranks of hard to kill warriors.
It's like double layered plate. Like
Of course,
their
they are
armor.
but,
That
part
is
of this new force.
thick.
The other part, and perhaps the most iconic of the Warriors of Chaos units,
The
are
Chaos
Knights. These
Knights.
are super elite heavy cavalry. Inside this new box, you get
I see. There's
4
their
Chaos
lances.
Knights.
I did
It's a
call that.
classic size if you remember. David,
Bro, their
you're going back in time
horses
a
are
long way now,
so
and Chaos
heavily
Knights used to
armored.
often
My
feature in units of 4.
God.
So you have
They
what you'd
have
expect, a
so
champion,
much
a musician,
armor.
a standard bearer, and then
Oh, they look like they weigh a
with the
ton.
lances that you see here in the picture.
And
so
you can
do a
add
big
into the unit, obviously, and
Yeah,
make
absolutely.
it bigger.
You get 4 in the box. You'll be able to get more as time goes on. So if you
4
want to build
Chaos
bigger
Knights per
units of
box?
Chaos
Oh,
Knights, you
jeez.
certainly will be able
We're
to.
going back to classic
Chaos Knights
fantasy
are
numbers.
Some of the hardest hitting and most dangerous cavalry units in all of Warhammer.
They're also just like almost the archetypal heavy cavalry, right? Like
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
you build an army for
It's a little
Warhammer the Old
weird
World,
that
you're
the
like, well, I
shields-
can
some of
take
the
a
shields
charge,
have
but
wooden
could I take
bits.
a charge from Chaos Knights?
Probably
it's like
not.
the absolute pinnacle of the hardest hitting unit. So lots of people very keen to include this unit in their army if you've got a Chaos Force. So almost never see a Chaos army without a unit of Chaos Knights. They're just so effective.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the force is led by some champions of chaos. You have one on foot and one on horse. This one here you can see is modelled as a battle standard bearer.
Bro, the
The
BSB
kit
looks
contains
so
enough options that you
good.
can swap around the things. So in a moment, as we see the screen progress, you'll see some of the things you can do. It also has a chaos.
Bro, the
champion
Chaos Lord on
mount.
horse looks
This is my favourite model in the
amazing.
set. It is beautiful.
Good
It is a really
God, that
iconic
horse
unit.
is
I think
huge.
it looks like the artwork of Chaos Warriors from some of those old Warhammer Fantasy
yeah.
army books.
Oh, nice. He's got
and
some
the
old,
miniatures have finally
foot
got to the
designs
point
as
where
well.
they can capture
new Chaos
the
Knights
thing
better
that
have
you sort of
Infected.
imagined that Chaos Warriors you wanted them to look like all those years ago. It's just such a cool kit. I love the standard bearer as well. I think this champion kit is one of the best sort of hero kits that
That's a
Warhammer
fantastic
released.
Yeah, I don't
look.
have a Chaos Army.
That is
Warhammer.
the
I never have, but I would
chunkiest
really
fucking
like to get my
horse
hands on that model.
I think I've
it
ever
works
seen.
beautifully. So let's talk for a little bit about that box. It's a 2-player core box.
No,
for,
I wanna know about the
Warhammer
dragon.
Old World. It's essentially what you need to start
The new
playing.
Chaos
Warhammer the Old
Knights
World
better
if
have
you haven't
Infected.
bought
They
it.
look
It's
like they
an
probably
enormous box.
should.
It contains the armies. It also contains the rulebook and a muster list. The rulebook is the same rules as you currently use for Warhammer the Old World. So if you're sat there worrying that this is going to change the rules that you're playing with, it won't. The difference really with this rulebook and the rulebook you already have, if you're already playing the Old World, is that the erratas and things that exist online are woven into this.
That
So,
1.5.
that should make life a little
You
bit
can bring
easier.
just this book, and you don't need to worry about any other documents. Or anything. You can-
Exactly.
Okay,
And then,
so yeah,
further
so
to
they
that,
yeah
it
they
has
did
an
release a
additional
1.
section
This is a
called Battle
1.5
Map.
edition
We'll
book.
talk more about that in a little
I
while.
saw in
It has all the
miniatures
errata
when
already
you
in
were
it.
showing off some of that
Yeah,
chaos
we'll
stuff.
just talk about the muster list before we go.
I might
Muster
just
list
buy the
is
box,
rules for the
honestly. I
models that
kinda
are in the
want
box.
everything
There you
that's
go.
in it.
This is how to play Warhammer all in one handy box, and is very exciting and continues the thing that we know and love. Now,
Let's talk dragons, Adam.
yeah, let's talk dragons.
Look
We're all very
at
excited.
that
This might be my
dragon!
favourite
It
thing in
looks
the
so
entire preview.
fucking
it is such a
cool!
show-stopping model. This is the Warriors of Chaos, Lord
Oh
and
my
Chaos Dragon.
God!
And there's so much to talk about. Eddie?
You just get the sense of the size of it just from that shot where it was already taller than the 3-story building
Yeah,
that
no
are behind
kidding.
it. It
That
is an
looks
absolutely
so
enormous,
fucking
phenomenally
good,
cool miniature
dude.
for Warhammer the Old World. I think probably the biggest monster we've had released yet.
It's got to be
I
right
am
up
building
there,
that
and there
as
have been some
Galrauch
fantastic kits,
immediately.
since Warhammer the Old World launched. There's things to talk about. The first, I want to just wax
Holy
lyrical on how
fuck.
cool Chaos Dragons are. We've seen this image before of Chaos Dragons with 2 heads. There used to be a special character. Chaos Dragon.
Galrauch the Chaos Dragon, which was the kind of one that had eaten the Lord of Change, and then before that you had Von Horstmann,
That's right,
who
yeah.
was the kind of
who's
former
still
College
playable
of
in your
Magic
game,
in the
guys.
Empire
There you
character
go.
who was on a 2-headed Zinchian dragon. But that's a long time ago. We've never had a plastic version of it. A plastic two-headed Chaos Dragon has been a long time coming, and I think even though we've waited decades for it, this is worth
that
it.
is
It
an
a really
incredible
It's
sculpt.
also what we sometimes call a two for kit, in that you can make a different option with it. So you've seen the Chaos Lord. This is a Sorcerer Lord, and there's some differences. The first is the rider. Obviously, he's now a hunched and wizened Chaos Sorcerer, which is a powerful unit.
I love
in
the
its own right.
Sorcerer
It can be
Lord.
up
Sorcerer
to a
Lord
level
looks
4
really
wizard.
fun.
He's not bad in a fight.
Oh, there's the
He's
book.
backed up by a
There's the
two-headed
book
Chaos
we
Dragon.
saw. So it is a Chaos
Everything
book.
you would.
Yeah,
want
you're not going to
enjoy.
kill him with a light cavalry unit. Are you?
No, absolutely not. Additionally, there's some slight differences with the dragon itself. You'll notice that this one has sort of different frills and things. So if you wanted two dragons, you could have different riders on them, and they would look a bit different. And then with a little bit of sort of paint magic, what you've got is two very striking.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of the
rumor
rumor engine stuff. we
Very
saw.
exciting centerpiece model. The images that the video team have put together here capture its majesty. It's possibly even better in the flesh, and we have it on the
I
desk
really
here,
hope
so
they
you can see
designed it to
looming
be a
over some of
Galrauch.
these new Chaos Warrior models.
Yeah, one of the things we
So,
haven't
like, if
mentioned
you
as well
don't
is,
put the rider
just
on the back-
next to the Chaos Dragon, just below it here.
Hopefully, if you
whichever
don't
one
put the
don't
rider on the
build,
back,
so if
there's
you
not
build
like a
the
weird
Chaos
gap
Lord
or
on the
something.
dragon, you
'Cause,
get
like,
a
they gave
Chaos
us
Sorcerer
rules
Lord
for
on
Galrauch.
foot, and if you build the Sorcerer Lord on the dragon, you get a Chaos Lord on foot. So whatever way you build this, you get basically
Looks good,
two
though.
very
Yeah,
powerful
so this is
hero
the
mages.
Sorcerer Lord that you would get if you build it with the Chaos Lord, and then this is the Chaos Lord on foot if you built it with the Sorcerer. So, oh crikey, always worried
That
I'm gonna
mini
destroy
is
heavy metal
fucking
model
huge,
live on
though.
video.
That is a big fucking
Really a
dragon.
great kit. You can see all the other things in
Just
front
the
of us
size
as well.
of it as well. I
Yeah.
mean, these are big models, right? The Chaos Knights are not small cavalry models, and this is about 4 times the height of them. So it's a
That
big
model
old beast.
is fucking
and also just
gorgeous.
phenomenally good in the game as well.
That
right?
is-
like a
that
Chaos
is-
Lord on a
that is
two-headed
the
Chaos
best
Dragon
looking
is up
old
there
world
with
dragon.
the very best
Like
units
Miao Ying,
in
I
all
love
of
Miao
Warhammer
Ying.
the
I
Old
love
World.
her
There's
more
almost
as a
nothing that
character,
can go
but
toe-to-toe
like
with
I just
as
wanna-
far as
before
how
we
I
move on
like
from
my
Chaos
dragons,
Warriors,
that is
have a look at the
peak
back
dragon.
of the Chaos Champion on horse. You can see all of this amazing extra detail. He's got like fur under his saddle. He's got like heads hanging from chains. Like the detail on these
Build
models
Galrauch,
is
get a free
wild.
Sorcerer
Yeah,
Lord,
I think
Chaos
one
Lord
of
on
the things
foot.
that's
Yeah,
worth
exactly.
calling out actually about these Chaos Warriors particularly is that these are Chaos Warriors designed for.
I'm a
Warhammer the
little
Old World, so they're
surprised
meant
that
to look
the
like
announcers
logical
don't seem
extension
aware of the
kind
fact that
Marauder
Galrauch is in the
Absolutely.
game.
They're very
but-
much sort of the chaos armored
Yeah.
barbarians from the
But
north.
there's
descending
still a
on
little
them.
bit of that kind of like barbarian raider vibe to them. They've got the look of someone who's kind of walked out of the Arctic North of the Warhammer world. So that
Just
they
about to ransack the old world.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, you've got to love it. Right. Obviously, alongside the new core box, people might want to get their hands on some other things that would be useful. So here you can see common magic items and laws of magic.
Reference.
These are cards
reference
which
packs.
enable you to do quick reference as
Okay.
you're playing your games.
Sure.
And can be very useful. They're not required. Obviously, the rules for these things exist inside the book. There's also another thing that we said we would talk about a little bit. This is Battle March, the General's Companion.
What is this?
Now, Battle March is a new way to play games of Warhammer the Old World. The way this works is that you build smaller forces, not unlike Spearhead or Combat Patrol, between 400 and 700 points, and then you unleash them in games that are quicker to play and more straightforward. There's some rules in this companion which sort of detail
Any lore?
how you make your force, so there's some limitations on what you can and can't take and some requirements, and then there's different scenarios to play. The rules for Battle March are in the new rulebook, and there's those rules and more information and more
Interesting.
scenarios and ways to play are found inside this
Okay,
Battle
I mean,
March General's
sure, why
Companion.
not?
So whichever one you want to take as your option in.
Do we have the
you can start
Astromancer
playing,
mini?
I don't know, like
Yeah, the
lunchtime
Astromancer
games, or
mini's
maybe
been
like
released.
a campaign across a weekend of like.
I don't know if
6
you can buy it
10 round
separate.
games.
I'm pretty sure you
Or
can.
if you've just started an army for the first time and you maybe haven't got enough to play a full-size game, you can
Yeah, yeah,
still play
absolutely.
with
Yeah,
a smaller,
sure.
a smaller force.
Yes. Now
I want that new
to help
rulebook,
you with that,
honestly.
they're releasing the
Oh,
first
that's
of
great.
Battle March armies. So this is the Warriors of Chaos and
Oh,
Cathay
those are
Battle March
nice.
armies, and they contain a variety of units.
Hopefully those
deliberately
are slightly
designed to give you a
discounted. If
good
those are
Battle
slightly
March
discounted, then
experience.
those are
And you could
peak
totally
boxes.
Add these to the new
Oh,
box,
look, it's all
and
yeah.
that's
So it's
my
all the new
big argument
Marauders.
what
It's
it
the
is.
new
we were
Marauders,
talking
the new
about
Marauder
if you
Horsemen,
add
the
either
new
of these
Warriors, and the new
boxes
Chaos
onto
Knights.
your,
That's
the
a
new
nice
sets coming
Warriors
out
of Chaos
with the
box
Warriors of
set.
Chaos and the
That's
Army
a
of Grand Cathay.
really nice Warriors of Chaos
And then you
box
add something
set.
like I don't know, a monster like a two-headed dragon.
Yeah, or a
you've
Cathayan dragon.
or a
perhaps,
Cathayan
yeah.
dragon. You've pretty much got an
Yeah,
army
so it's
ready
Spearhead.
to go.
Yeah.
These are really lovely places to start a force.
Which honestly,
for,
considering how
just a really good
popular
way to bolt on
Spearhead
loads of
is,
troops
this
onto
might
an
be
army.
really
absolutely.
good for Old World.
There's also more coming for the Old World. This is the
Yeah,
Arching General, the
new
March of Chaos.
lore!
This continues the narrative that we're seeing unfold in the Old World at the moment. The Chainbreaker, this Chaos Lord, is descending from the north with an enormous throng. They're ploughing through the northern provinces of the Empire. even the forces of Grand Cathay have been called in, volunteered themselves to come in and try and.
So this
stave
is
off this
the
invasion,
next
and it's a
step
grim affair.
on Friedel the
Magic is being
Chainmaker
fired around everywhere.
versus
So
Miao
that
Ying.
card deck is for magic ploys, which the winds of magic are blowing so furiously that there's loads of different magic escapades and things to get on with.
Okay, so we got
it's a
our
really good
next
time to play
we got our
Warhammer
next
Old
beat
World
in the
right
story.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the narrative they're kind of weaving as well.
So we got the next
Different
narrative.
invasions leading up to a big
the next
war.
narrative.
Some would say a great war.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, I like that. That was a good deep cut if you know your Warhammer history. So,
Deep
slight
cut.
segue. It's not quite the old world, but it's very similar. Let's talk about Blood Bowl for a minute.
What?
Blood Bowl is the game of fantasy
I don't think they're
football,
that similar.
and there is some really exciting things to show with the release of the new Spike Journal. This is Spike Journal 22. Blood Bowl 7s is the theme. What's Blood Bowl 7s? I hear you ask. Well, I'm glad
Blood
you
Bowl
did.
7s, Adam?
There you go. Perfect. Blood Bowl 7s is essentially a way of playing Blood Bowl which is akin to like rugby 7s or five-a-side football. So you're compacting your team, you're playing faster games on a smaller pitch. It's very frenetic. It really
That's
changes
interesting. They're
quite a
doing
lot
this
of
for
the,
like every single
the
game.
tactics and the ways that you would play.
I will say I'm
and makes
really
for
interested in
a
Battle March.
entirely different and very fun experience.
Really interested in Battle
you
March.
get 4 of your positionals in this game, so you've got quite a lot of skills and things on the tabletop, and it's just a lot of fun. I'm excited for this, but I'm even more excited for what we're about to show you, which is some fantastic new Blood Bowl miniatures. The first of which is a new big one available for several teams. This is the Rat Ogre.
Oh,
I
finally
love
a
this model.
generic
I think
rat
the thing that I
ogre.
most love about it is if you look on his shoulder, he has a little rat with a piece of
Oh,
cheese
the
and a
little
flag on
rat
his
with the
tail.
banner.
That is
That's
beautiful,
fucking
but
hilarious.
Is it better or as good as a rat wearing a gas mask and carrying a lump of warp stone?
It's very close, and I think you'll have to make that decision
they
for
actually
yourself.
haven't had
to
a
get
generic
hold
rat
of your
ogre
own
model
rat ogre.
for
I think
like
the
a
cheese
could
takes
build your rat
while.
ogre without either of those rats, but boo.
I mean, you could if you wanted to
Those
not
are
have a rat
so
on his
good. Man,
shoulder.
you could
yes,
easily
you
just
could
put
do
that in
that,
your
but
fantasy army.
Does anyone want that?
This is
Or
also a
AoS
great
army
model,
and
but
change
if you're not
literally
taking
nothing.
One of the rats, I think you've got
You
mad.
can
This
change
is available
literally
for a
nothing
number
and
of
they would
teams.
still fit.
Obviously, you can use it in the Skaven team, but also the Underworld Denizens and the Chaos Renegade teams. If you want some real muscle
Great.
to go in there and just clobber
Oh,
the
look at
enemy,
the
break the enemy
mutations.
lines that
That's
your,
really fun.
team
The
can run
Underworld
through.
variant looks
mutation
really, really
option in there
cool.
as well,
Yeah,
I can see.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of big uns, there's another one on the way. This is a Minotaur.
The
Minotaur?
classic
Yeah, absolutely.
Minotaur. Wow, that one looks
I-
like he has been punched in the
this is
face.
another one of those
few too many
iconic,
times.
heavy-hitting Blood Bowl units. It's again available for a variety.
Oh, I
of
really
Blood
like
Bowl
that
teams.
variant. That variant looks
You can use
great.
it in the Chaos Chosen. You can use it in the Chaos Dwarf list. You can use it. In the
Ah,
Chaos
that's super
Renegade
fun.
teams.
The Minotaurs look great.
And here you can see the different ways you can build
Oh,
it
there's
to
a
fit
mutated
more in with the
version.
teams that you're used to using.
Oh,
Yeah, so this one
that's
here
so
on
fun.
screen
Look at
at the
all those
moment, rather than
mutations.
hands or even hooves, has got kind of
Yeah,
scorpion
why
claws.
catch the ball, right?
Yeah, he's not
That's
gonna do
so
much catching,
fun.
But he might
Those look
do even
great.
better clobbering than a regular Minotaur.
Those look
Yeah, no
really, really
kidding.
nice.
Now, those are wonderful. The thing I'm most excited about, not just for this Blood Bowl reveal, but maybe in all of Blood Bowl, is our next
He
reveal.
is your favourite, Adam.
Morgenthau is
Ah,
my
okay.
favourite thing
New
about Blood Bowl. I
Morgenthau.
absolutely love him. He's been an iconic character from right from the start. There is a new multi-part plastic Morgenthau model coming, and
That's
is
fun.
wonderful. The kit enables you to make him in one of 3 very iconic designs. Here you can see the Reichland Reavers one, which really sort of connects to that iconic artwork that we're used to seeing with Morg. Here is another version. This
That's
is him
fun.
in his gouged eye motif when he played for an Orc team, and you can see like the Orc charms and things around his neck. This is for the
So you get a Chaos
All-Stars
version,
when
an
he played
Orc
with that,
version,
team.
and
That
a,
was his first ever team. You see, he's
yeah,
still got hair.
Empire
You
version.
can see
That's
he's
very
also
funny.
got what each of the chaos.
Oh,
gods
yeah, he's got all the
icons on
Chaos
his
gods
little
around his
chain neck
necklace.
as well, which is really cool.
Absolutely love it.
That's very
if
funny.
you are unfamiliar with Blood Bowl or Morg in particular, let me just tell you, he is genuinely one of the
Adam,
best
can you
things-
take him in a halfling team?
You can, and I have used him to lead my halflings to almost glory.
Almost
a number of
glory.
times. I love him. He's so good.
My
He hits
halflings
like a freight
almost
train.
won
He's
a
really
game.
heavily armored. He's got
Wow.
great skills, mighty blow, loads of armor.
That's pretty good.
everything you
Those
could
are
possibly
very,
want.
very fun
And
Blood
he
Bowl
costs a load of
models.
points. So halflings are really cheap. So
Can he
stack
throw
them up.
halflings?
He can throw a halfling. In fact,
Can you get the new rulebook on its own? They have not said that
scored
yet.
many a touchdown or nearly died as he would be lobbed down the pitch. I could talk about Morg for far too long. He's coming soon. I'm very
I would
excited.
be
Please, let me have
surprised
one.
if
Let's
they
look at the
don't
models.
release it on its own.
I gave
so
you all the Morgs.
there
I
you go.
imagine
These
they
are the
will,
beautiful
but they'll
heavy
probably
metal
make you have to
painted
buy it on the
Morg
box set
models,
at
and
least
here
for a
you
little
can
bit.
see, what they look like. So going.
But there
sort
will
of
be
from this
people
side
who will
onwards,
buy the
this is
box set
Morg.
that
We
don't
need to build
want
him
the
in that
book
sort of
on like
gouged eye
eBay
look.
and stuff.
You see his armor looks like the sort of armor that Black Orcs wear.
Yeah, so you get different armor, different head, different chest plates. You've got a bunch of different options.
Yeah, and then this is Morg with the Reichland Reavers uniform, and then
From I think the first edition Blood Bowl.
well, yeah,
or was it
a
second?
number of them really. I think he's appeared on a couple of covers, and then
Who's
if you
Morgenthau?
wanted to do him as Chaos
He
All-Stars,
is
use
one
this
of the
But
first
ultimately,
Blood Bowl
build your Morg
characters
how you
like
want, and just
ever,
go
and
club
he's
the enemies.
basically like a big mercenary ogre.
We have the other models on the table as well.
That will fight
you can
for
see the Minotaur,
Anybody.
a rat ogre, and then another minotaur. These are all hulking
so you
models.
get a
They
really good
tower
shot
above
of
the
that.
Those are
average
so
lineman.
fun. Those are great minis.
There you go.
I
That's a
love
real
that
star.
little baby rat on the rat ogre's shoulder pad.
So there we go. A good time for Blood Bowl. 3 amazing new big.
Speaking of
characters
ogres,
coming your way. A new way to play Blood Bowl.
Transition.
Spike Journal. I'm very excited about this, and we are nowhere near done with this preview.
Let's keep going.
Right. Why don't we go to the Age of Darkness?
Oh, Horus Heresy. Reinforcements now in gold. I mean plastic. So what? We got Custodes bikers. Some kind of Custodes tank thingamajigger. Oh, it's for 40k and Horus Heresy. Damn, okay. So it's a big dreadnought, tanks, and grav bikes, but it's for 40k and Horus Heresy.
Welcome
That's
back.
good.
We have
That's a good
really
sign.
excited to talk now about.
That's a
the
good
Adeptus
sign. Maybe
Custodes
we'll
or
start
Legion
seeing more
Custodes.
like
Well,
AOS.
both,
Adam,
because the new
Old World
box set that's
crossover.
on its way is a reinforcement set for the Custodes, and you can use
That's
it for
nice.
either Warhammer the Horus Heresy or Warhammer 40,000. And just in case you didn't believe us, we put the logos on the box.
It couldn't
so
be clearer,
there's
could it?
no confusion. You can absolutely use this for either.
I
game
wish they
system.
would do
There
that
are
with
6 models in
literally
this box,
all
which
of the
doesn't sound like
kits,
a lot,
as
but
long
when
as
you
it makes sense
take a look at
lore-wise.
the models, which are huge and awesome. So let's start with the fastest unit in that box.
Yeah, these are the Falcon jet bikes, an iconic unit from the.
I don't care about this,
Legio
but, you know,
Custodes force.
cool.
They are fast-moving, hard-hitting.
Yeah, I know they've been
heavy
doing that with
armed
Custodes.
and
I hope they do it with
armored
more
units,
factions.
which are designed to storm in and break the back of enemy forces. Each custodian is armed.
I hope
like,
it's
to the
more of
teeth.
a thing.
There's loads of things to talk about here. The first thing would be to mention that there's different guns that come on the.
The previous box
Essentially, you have a
instantly
choice of the
disappeared
Adeptus
everywhere.
Devastator,
It was
a
impossible to
Raptor's
find
polygun,
one. This one will be the
twin
same.
Corvée
I can
pulse
believe
laser.
that.
That's the over and under one. You can see it looks a bit like an over and under shotgun. And then you also have the Lastrum bolt cannon. So loads of different weapons to do loads of different jobs.
Yeah. So one of the things in a Custodes army, obviously, is you haven't got a lot of units. Because
Y'all
they tend to
remember
cost
the
a lot
good
of
old
points.
days
So you might find
when
you've
you
got a couple
could
of,
collect
things that your
Demons of
army's not very good at
Chaos,
killing, and one
and
of the
they would
things
let
that
you
units
play
like this
Demons
can
of
do is
Chaos
give you
in
options.
any
You go,
setting.
Actually, I really need some help to kill monsters. Or
Weren't those nice
infantry or
days?
something. So you can kit these out with almost
You can play
a gun
fantasy,
for almost any
you can play
occasion. right?
40K.
You can have different guns across the unit, or you can
play
actually
whatever
go,
you
I just
wanted.
want them all to be really good at killing vehicles. Give them the best thing for killing the specific vehicle I think that I'm weakest into.
Yeah, all of them also have a Solarite Power Lance, which is a formidable power weapon.
It is
especially
enormous. The Solarite Lance, it's about 3 times the length of a Space Marine.
Yeah,
I
it's
reckon you could
huge.
kebab about 5 Chaos Space Marines on that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's 4 of these inside the set, which is a brilliant unit to go spearheading around the battlefield and just.
Skaven at this point should have for Old World since AOS and most of the units are the same. Yeah, Skaven would be good for that. So Seraphon would probably be
the
pretty
Palace
decent
Grav
for that.
Attack is a fast-moving
Seraphon
skimmer
Lizardman.
for the Custodes. You can kit it out with either anti-infantry or anti-vehicle stuff. It works a little bit like a land speed. Is
I'm
probably the
not
way to think
40.
about it.
You
But
don't
it's
have to
very
be
useful
40 for that.
Custodes because you tend to have a lot of very expensive models, so you don't have very many small units. So this can zip around the battlefield, taking objectives, getting the enemy where they're hiding in a way that your infantry are very good at holding ground, but not very good at kind of chasing stuff.
Yeah, but what about
Yeah,
Age of
and this is
Sigmar?
another one of those units.
Yeah,
you
but
can
what about
use
Age of
to sort
Sigmar?
cater for where you think you might need additional strength. Has 2 weapons to choose from: the twin Arachnus Blaze Cannon or the twin Iliastus Accelerator Fusil. Say those in a hurry, so you can tailor your palace to deal with particular
Yeah,
threats.
Beastmen,
Well,
they
I
really
think
should
the
do this
model,
with Beastmen.
the showstopper
Like,
of
let
this box
Beastmen come
is
back to
undoubtedly the Telamon Dreadnought. This is a brand new multi-part plastic kit.
That's a pretty big boy.
reinvention of the resin version, the already very nice resin version of the Telamon Dreadnought, but in glorious multi-part plastic, keeping all the posability with even more detail and even more weapon options.
Yeah, speaking of weapon options, I'll walk you through them. Between its shoulder blades, you can see the Spiculus missile launcher, but there are other weapon options too. Here you can
pretty
see
good
the
looking.
Iliastus Accelerator Culverin, the Adrathic Devastator, and the Arachnus Storm Cannon. On his other hand, so you can build those as you will, choose the one that suits your loadout. On the other hand, you have the Kestus, that's essentially fancy Legio Custodes terms for Power Fist, with twin Neutronium Cascade Projector. So it's a bit like a flamethrower, but with neutroniums.
Absolutely. Neutronium's more deadly than flame, apparently.
Gotta
So
be,
there you go.
right?
One of those
Continue
guns
the
is,
Shadow
of course,
Game
new, the one
storyline?
that's
Hell
currently equipped,
yeah.
the name escapes
I mean,
me,
maybe
sorry,
they'll
the-
bring
I
back
think you are
Beastmen
talking
for
about the Eliastus
fifth edition.
exactly that
We can
one.
hope.
And this is just a really
We can
beautiful
hope.
kit, right? So you could
Probably
paint
not
this
gonna
up
happen,
very
but we
quickly
can
if you
hope.
wanted to, like a gold spray and then a wash would make it look beautiful. But equally, if you wanted to take your time over all the detail of this,
Yeah, but you could get this or a two-headed Chaos
more
Dragon.
detail even.
Well, when you
than
put it that
some
way.
of those resin versions of this when it came out.
I'm
We have one on the
really
table,
pleased with the
and we
Chaos
brought
Dragon.
along
The
some
Chaos
other
Dragon looks
dreadnoughts,
fucking
so you can sort of
incredible.
see how it scales up.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. This Telemon Dreadnought is ever so slightly larger than the resin one. So we brought a Leviathan Dreadnought.
Do you remember when you saw a Leviathan for the first time and thought, you're never
Nothing,
going to
nothing
that's
could ever
supposed
be
to be
cooler
the
than a
same
Leviathan
mini?
Dreadnought. And he's still pretty cool. I like
Yeah,
Leviathans
absolutely.
a lot. But the Telemon Dreadnought stands a good head above the even the Leviathan.
And with,
Oh, no, it's
last
a
summer's
different
release,
type of
Lots
dreadnought,
of people
okay.
may have got their hands on a Saturnine dreadnought, and here you can see
I was
there's
about
some
to say, I was
similarity,
like, what the fuck?
between these two in terms of the shape of the shoulder pads and things. The Telemon is a little taller. The Saturnine is a little bit broader.
Yeah, absolutely. So this one definitely is got more mass to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the weight of it looks heavy, but the Telemon stands ever so slightly taller, which might just mean that the Custodians didn't want to kind of ever look up at a space marine. I think it's probably the point, isn't
Yeah,
it?
why not? I like it.
Alright, guys,
So
just see
all
from the
of
webpage.
these,
The new
models
Arcane
we've
Journal is
talked about,
combined
so
Warriors of
the,
Chaos and Beastmen, Army of
Jet
Infantry.
Falcon,
Oh,
Jet
Infamy.
the
Oh, I
Palace
mean,
Guard Attack,
that's a
and the
classic
Telemon Dreadnought
build.
will be available in plastic for the first time
It's
as part of
that
this
would
box
be
set,
the Hordes
and
of
then
Chaos,
available separately
essentially.
later down the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can use them, definitely use them for both Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer Horus.
You absolutely can. One of the new detachments for the Custodians in
So,
Warhammer
that's fun.
40,000 has some specific upgrades for Telemon Dreadnoughts as well.
Ooh, do I want to run that
Great,
actually?
nice. So,
'Cause then I
that's
could
not
run
everything for
Beastmen
the
in a
Age of
Dragon
Darkness,
army.
we also have a new
pretty cool.
General Tactica on the way. This is General Tactica Prospero Burns, the Judgment of Valdor, and this deals with the actions of Constantine Valdor and the Legio Custodes.
I wish
during the burning
our
of Prospero
campaign books for
when
the old
they
world
joined
were that
forces
big.
with the Space Wolves to bring judgment to
That must be
Magnus and
fucking
his
nice to
current
actually get
Yeah, we know
not
quite
a
a lot about the
magazine
Burning
supplement.
Prospero. We've seen it from the Thousand Suns perspective. We've seen it from the Space Wolves perspective. We know that the Custodians were there, but we haven't really heard much about what the Custodians were up to. And this explores.
They are killing me with the
that.
tiny
You kind
ass
of find
books.
out what they were doing while the two legions were taking chunks out of each other. One of the things that's quite cool about it is
Especially
that,
because this is going to be
the Custodians
the
obviously on one side. On the other
What,
side,
Raising of
there
the
are some Thousand
Westerland,
Suns, but the main antagonist really for them is a
Dawn
demonic foe.
of
absolutely.
Storm
For the first
Dragon
time, this presents for
and
this edition
whatever the
a
third one
full
is.
army list
This
of
is going to be the
Demons of Siege,
fourth
including
book
new psychic disciplines
in
so
the
you can
Miao
start
Ying versus
using,
Friedel the Chainmaker
the
storyline.
warp denizens of the patron who is presiding over the ruin of the Thousand Suns.
Yeah. Or salvation, possibly.
No,
as they see it.
absolutely not.
Maybe,
They
probably
have it coming.
ruined. It is
They got what
probably
they deserve.
ruined, yeah.
There's even more stuff in there. Than
Horus
we talked
Heresy
about
have
here.
very
There's,
slow releases.
Some new.
I mean,
rules
old
for
world,
the Solo
we're not
Auxilia.
getting
There's
much
a whole
these
bunch of
days.
stuff. This is a packed General Tactica, which really.
Because
shines
it's
a
been
lot in
what,
an
6
area
months
of
since
the
the
Horus
last Horus
we've not
Heresy
looked at
release,
before.
something
So
like
it's
that.
exciting.
And that's the best kind of Horus Heresy games. Ones where you're going back to those iconic moments in the lore and refighting it. Like, what if it was a little bit different? What if you had a slightly different mix? What if the tactics were different?
Yeah, absolutely.
Recreating those amazing stories is what it's all about.
So, sticking with the Age of Darkness, but going a bit smaller as we look at some Legions Imperialis.
Or possibly bigger.
But yes, bigger and smaller at the same time. We have 3 models we're going to talk about now. These are models for the Titan Legions. This is the Warlord Battle Titan with Quake
I will
Cannon
say
and
it
conversion
is
beam
very good
extirpator
that
to extirpate,
Old
means
World
destroy
has
utterly.
a core box
and that is
set
what the weapon loadout
that
on
has
this,
all brand new
Warlord Titan
minis,
will do.
like no
as you see this video
old
playing through, you
Warhammer
can see what
Fantasy.
all the different
It's
weapons
all
are. There's a whole
Old
bunch, and
World
they have really
exclusive
long and
minis
difficult
that
to
are
say
all
live on
plastic.
air names,
They all
such
look
as
fantastic.
Extirpator.
Cathay
this is
versus
a
Warriors of
kit
Chaos.
which will
Great,
come,
sure.
packaged,
That's
all
totally
together, so you get the
that's
Warlord
good.
Titan and all of these weapons.
Actually, no, that's not true. There's
It includes
one
some extra
old
bits and
mini.
pieces, so there's some guns
There's
on the turrets, you've
one
got Gatling
old
blasters,
mini
laser destructors,
in the
two
core set
warheads
box
inside
because
the kit, and
it looked
also
like the
contains
Chaos
all the cards you
Sorcerer
would need
was
to use
the.
this if you
It
were
looked like the
playing
Chaos
Adventures
Sorcerer
Titanic.
was the
Nice.
8th edition
If
Storm
you
of
just want
Magic.
the weapons, they'll be available
Chaos
separately.
Sorcerer
You
mini.
just won't get all the cards with it and stuff like that. Cool. This is one of 3 things we're going to talk about. The next one is the Warlord Battle Titan with Volkite Destructor and Macro Galaxy
Forgive me,
Blaster. Again,
Legion Imperialis guys. I could not give less fucks about this. So I'm going to go pull up the Warhammer community page because I want to look at the box set.
A whole bunch of different weapons, which you can see playing out on your screen. They include the Graviton Ruinator, which you can see here. It's the biggest Graviton gun I've ever seen.
I just don't care about that.
Volkite Destructor, Macro Gatling Blaster, and the Vulcan Mega Bolter array,
so you get
sits on its shoulders. It also includes a Warlord Titan heads and those cards I mentioned before if you wanted to play
oh wait, no.
Titanicus.
But Adam,
no,
what
sorry,
if
I was looking at the wrong
smaller
kit.
Titan,
I was looking
but
at
still
the wrong
wanted
kit.
loads of massive guns.
It's not that kit.
Then
It's this
you are going to be
kit.
fine because this is the Titan Legion's Reaver Titan with Graviton Obliterator and Volkite Annihilator.
It's the battle box. Or is that a new? Is that an old world sculpt or is that the old
such as the
sculpt?
aforementioned Graviton Obliterator, the Volkite Annihilator. It also
Okay. So the core set is all brand new stuff. That's great. That's super duper awesome.
You just saw it there. My favorite, possibly of all.
Is this sorcerer new to old world or is he the old fantasy? I'm pretty sure that's the old fantasy one from the Storm of Magic
in Adeptus Titanicus. And you can get the weapon separately should you desire no more Titans. What's wrong with you? There we go. Pretty exciting. Should you play Little Heresy?
Absolutely.
There we go. I need to take a breather. Now might be the time to talk a little bit about something coming to Warhammer Plus very soon.
Now
there is a new animation. Look at the butcher's nails.
Audio mixing. There we go. Would be lovely if we could get like a fantasy series. I don't know. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care.
Butcher's nails.
Yeah, this is a new animation coming to Warhammer TV for Warhammer Plus subscribers. It is in one-off standalone episode.
We're never going to get an
Hammer and Bolter
animation.
episode of Warhammer 40,000. And effectively, it tells the story of a Khorne Berserker who is part of a chaos assault on an Imperial stronghold. As you would imagine for a World Eater story, it is incredibly violent. It is by some margin the bloodiest and most violent piece of Warhammer animation we have yet.
I said fantasy.
Warhammer TV.
I specifically said
pretty
fantasy.
much non-stop carnage from the moment that the shots open to the final battles.
Fantastic. Here you can see a shot that we saw something like this in the trailer. This looks like the head-up display inside the helmet of the world.
A fantasy animated series?
Not all of it, but some of the
I know,
animation is shown from the
unfortunately it is impossible.
World Eater, who is obviously a little bit unhinged. The butcher's nails are starting to bite.
Hi, all in Greece to Germany. Well, I hope you're doing well over in Germany.
Kills and carnage. He starts to go kind of slowly insane, and he basically is chopping his way through as many enemies as he can find, partly to try and achieve victory, but mostly just to try and make the whining of the nails cease, even for the briefest of moments.
Fantastic. And we got a sense of who is fighting, but what's the battle between?
I mean, he almost really doesn't really mind what the battle is. Really, Khorne doesn't care as long as the blood flows. There are definitely some Astra Militarum disregardsmen, some unfortunate guardsmen.
Hey, Johan! I'm
there are some
surprised you're
space marines with
not
Imperial
watching
Fist. There's some other
show.
space marines in the middle.
I'm sure
as well. They'll get on fine. I'm sure.
Lovely.
You know, it's not like they're known for betrayal or anything.
Hope you're doing well, Johan. Sorry to hear about
it's
y'all's mods getting
non-stop
nuked.
Action carnage fest. It's a really fun.
I'm surprised you're not watching the show.
And coming out fairly soon.
It comes out in August.
Awesome. That's very exciting. So, from the Butcher's Nails and Warhammer Plus,
is it Age of Sigmar time?
To the mortal realms.
Yes!
For
Ogres!
More.
Ogres! Ogres!
Opens.
Oh, let's go! Let's go! Oh, mole beasts? Okay, so Iron Guts. The new aesthetic is interesting. Ah, man, that Iron Gut looks fucking amazing. Okay, so basic Ogre Gluttons. Nice. Come on, give me a special character. Red the Maw, the High Slaughtermaster. Called it! Called it! We got a special character Slaughtermaster. Oh, he looks so good. Look at that big fat boy. Man, he's got like a whole... The new Butchers. Cleavers. Okay. That's a brand new unit. Gutseers? Oh, they're singing. Come on. Special character? Special character? Well, I guess we got a special character. Okay, they haven't revealed her yet, but we got red. Oh! What is that? What is that? No, go back. That was her. That was her. Go back.
Tribes. Eddie, where do we?
Oh, they look
I am
so
super
good.
excited about this release. This is an enormous range refresh for the Ogre Moor tribes.
They look
There's
good.
so much to talk about. I think
They
let's
look
start with the
fat.
army set, which is coming out. This is the first place you'll get a chance to get your hands on some of the new miniatures.
Oh,
This
I
is an
really
enormous
like 'em.
army launch set, a little bit like what we've seen with some of the armies
Yeah,
recently.
like the
Those are some
Exactly like
big
the Hellsmith, same sort of
boys.
concept. You get a cool version of the battle tome and the first chance to get hold of a bunch of the miniatures. Let's have a quick chat about some of the stuff
Those are
in this
some
set.
big
Sure. So first out the
boys.
gates would be sort of the mainstay unit for the Ogre Moor tribes. These are the gluttons. The sort of
The Chaos Dragon is still like absolute
in
peak
old days
of the
might have
stream
called
for me.
Ogre
But
Bulls.
these look
Boy, do they look
great.
good.
Yeah, the Ogre Bulls are still
It's-
really
it's
cool
definitely a
models,
very
but they
different
are, they've been around for a
aesthetic
while now. They're more
to
than 20
the
years
classic
old.
ogres that we
Yeah, I'm
had.
sorry
realised
about
how
that,
old I
Adam.
was.
They're
Yeah.
a lot more
So they are
armored.
well and
Like the
truly,
gut plates are
deserving of a refresh.
huge.
This is a really cool update for them. They still keep the kind of general aesthetic of the Ogre Bulls, but they're much more dynamic. They're a little bit bigger.
Like
The armor
they still
plates are
kind of
much
have
more
that
impressive.
Eastern vibe.
I
They-
really like the shape of the helmets. They look like they're designed to deflect sort of downward.
But
Yeah,
I
and if you
really,
remember,
really
like,
like
well.
that
the first time those models came
their
out, they were
armor is
designed for
like
Warhammer
obviously
Factory, where they'd have to rank
beaten
up,
into
so
shape.
actually
Like you can tell they
poses are
just
quite sort of
beat it
limiting on
with
their
their
dynamic,
fists or
yeah.
hammers
These
into
are
shape.
much like
They look
cooler,
good.
more impressive poses. Even things like having those arms out.
Yeah,
they
it
just look
looked
really
like
great.
the
detail
big
on them is
special character
obviously
was at the
20
end,
years
but
on
we
from
didn't
the last
didn't
time
they,
saw,
we didn't get to
the
see it
Ogre
yet.
Bulls, so these are really,
They're
really
saving
cool,
it for later.
miniatures.
This
You
is
get
just
10
the
of these
first
in
part
that
of the
launch
range.
box.
It looks like
This
they're
is
not
only
going to
the
reveal
most
everything
basic
yet.
of the Ogre Moor tribes.
Primaris
Let's move on to
ogres.
I think might be one of my favorites.
Yeah,
The
so
Iron
mine too. I
Guts.
think
Oh,
the
my
Iron
lord,
Guts
they
have
look
always looked really
terrifying.
cool, and these are even cooler if possible. The Iron Guts are an elite ogre unit. They carry enormous weapons, and they wear more armor. So you can see those armor plates on the arms going all the way up to the shoulders. Their helmets are a little bit fancier, and they've got these
Like they're
massive
practically
two-handed
almost
They
an
look like
alt
they
plate,
mean
except for like the
absolute
unit
business,
champion.
right?
Yeah,
Like the size of those weapons, and again, much more dynamic. But those blades are about twice the size of a mortal human, right? So they are going to make an absolute mess. They already are an excellent.
Them big
unit in
boys.
Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
It's like- it looks like
they're
there's gonna be
still
a
an
second
excellent unit,
wave.
and now the miniatures.
The
are
Butcher had a
even better.
Gorger near
Yeah,
him?
absolutely.
Yes,
To
he
keep
did.
this rabble in line. You need an
The
ogre
Butcher
tyrant.
special character has a
this model is
full. Looks like he has a
multi-part kit.
full
It enables you to
diorama
build
kit,
him in a couple of ways,
which is pretty
Essentially,
standard for
a
AoS
really
these
powerful,
days.
heavy-hitting ogre character. Here you can see a couple of the options. I love this one with the fur cloak. It sort of fits into
Get some
the,
pretty decent
more sort of
dynamic options for
huntery
the
style thing you can do with an ogre
the
army
ogre
where you
tyrant.
want to focus more on the beast if you want to, or you can go full gutbuster with this one,
got
whichever you prefer.
fucked up.
Yeah, if you've got the kind of Beast Claw Raider
Yeah,
vibe.
absolutely.
And I think you can obviously have a mix of them as well, but you've got a lot of different ways to kind of lean into different ogre armies, and it's just nice to have a multi-part character, right, where you can immediately start to make him your own. One of the big things about ogres for their entire history is the idea of like big names, right? They carry that through into this this battle tome as well, where the leader of your force is literally making a name for himself by achieving various feats. So being able to kind of have the pelts of the things he's defeated.
I like how they look.
Absolutely makes sense. Those units we've all seen before in different ways. The next unit is effectively a new type. These are the Maul Beast Cavalry and the Maul Beast Raiders. This is a 2-for kit, so you can make 2 different units. They function in a similar way. Both of them are cavalry units. The Maul Beast Raiders are your kind of fast-moving scout unit. The Maul Beast Cavalry are your hard-hitting shock cavalry.
I'm
They're
curious
a
if
little bit
these
more
are going to
armored. The guy in the
replace
back
the
has more
Mournfang
weapons,
Riders.
whereas the Maul Beast Raiders have some ranged attacks.
Yeah.
These effectively replace the Mournfang
Oh,
cavalry
there it is.
in your ogre list. They fulfill a similar sort of role in the army.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
Okay,
we'll
so
talk
they're
a little bit more
squatting the
about just how
Mournfangs. So the
tough they
Mournfangs are going
how
back
hard
to
they hit
fantasy.
in a little while. So these are all the models that come inside.
The Maul
that
Beasts
new
are pretty.
ogre
They're
army set.
pretty good
Obviously,
looking.
you need
I
Battle
think
Tome
I
and the
like the
War Scroll cards as well.
Mournfangs
This is
more.
the Battle Tome that comes for the ogre.
Hey,
Moor
look,
tribes
the
inside
Battle
that set.
Tome
It's
is-
got this lovely sort of finish to it. You can see the tyrant on the front. Obviously,
I wish
there'll be standard editions of
the
them
regular
out in
ones look
due
like
time.
that, so I
You'll
can
get
actually
models
tell they're
separately.
4th edition
But
books.
If you want first in on the new
I love
ogres,
that
this
black
is the
book
way.
with red text. That
It
looks
wasn't
great.
all we saw in that awesome video, though. Do you want to show the box?
Yeah,
It's
I've
pretty
got
cool.
the box right here. So this is the box. It's really lovely. That is all
Yeah, so the
you get in there.
Mournfangs
So
are going
just
back
confirm
to
you get
fantasy.
10 of those gluttons. You get the tyrant. You get 2 of the cavalry, and you get that big unit of Iron Guts, and then you get your battle tome in there as well. So it's a
I'm
really lovely set.
wondering if the
Fantastic.
new.
Right,
So it looks
so,
like they might be.
What else is there to talk about? Well, I guess we saw some things which fit in a different sort of part of the ogre army.
Look at
with
that
the
butcher.
sort of
The
more
butcher
secret
looks
component, right?
amazing.
Yeah, so one of the bits of the Ogre force
my
is the kind
God,
of
look at all
tyrants
those
and the Iron Guts
chins!
and things like that. But another fairly major part of Ogre society are the More Seekers, the Butchers, and the things that follow in the Butcher's wake. The Butcher again is a model
so
been out
good.
for a very long time, well worth an update. This model is a phenomenally cool update.
It's horrifying.
Deeply disturbing.
Yeah, I think you've got some strong feelings on exactly how unpleasant this particular model.
Really
The model's
unsettling.
great, but he's definitely a bit grim, isn't
and
he?
the longer you look, the more disturbing it gets.
Like,
The way he's
I
holding
love
the
how
corpse in his hand, the gore
insanely
sloshing around in his
fat
cauldron,
he is.
and all this for what is essentially a really beefy ogre.
Like, look at those man
Yeah,
titties just
Butchers
like
are
sagging
sort
off
of
the
part
side.
Wizard, part
Delicious.
chef, part shaman,
Delicious.
part mystic to the ogres. They're really important to Ogre society. Ogre society basically is all about eating.
All of these
All ogres
translate
at their core
one for
have
one
this kind of
effortlessly into
unending
fantasy.
hunger, which
Except
they
for
interpret
the,
as the will of the god
Mornfang
Mor, who
replacements.
may or may not be part of the greater pantheon of Gorka Morka, depending on which ogre you speak to. And Butchers try to tap into that arcane power, that kind of godly power.
Oh,
and
they're bringing back
manifest
the
it as
Great
various
Maw.
different spells. A lot of their magic is to do with consuming something and then manifesting that into magic in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. There are more devotees
So
of
the
the
Great
Gulping
Maw-
God coming.
So the Great Maw is coming back to AOS.
These are the
That's
Ogre
a
Cleavers,
big lore
and they are
change.
kind of like butchers in training, right?
Yeah, these are fanatics of Ogre society who
Dude, look at
follow
the
in wake of
cleavers.
the
These are
Butchers.
so
They
fun.
do a range of different things. After a battle, they'll collect up all the various body parts and offal and bits of enemies to throw into the cauldron for the
So you have
Butcher.
like a generic
They are,
unit of butchers
kind
in training. This is
fanatically
great.
driven disciples of the Butchers and of the god Mor.
The combination of the miniatures design
The God-
team
that's
and
actually
the
a
metal painting
huge
team
lore
have really
change.
just worked.
The God Maw
Yeah,
or
I mean,
the
Blood
Great
God
Maw,
is-
that is
is
not a
absolutely
concept in
crying out
Age of
for
Sigmar
gore
up to the
until now.
elbows, cauldrons full of offal. These are
It was called the
incredible.
Gulping
They're
God,
not the
and it was
only
just
things
Gorka
within this
Morka. It
Mor
was Gorka
Seeker,
Morka, the Gulping
collective.
God. So
That
this is a big
also
lore
makes another
change.
option. So you can either make the cleavers that you saw there, or you can make these, which are the guts.
The gut
Yeah, Gutseers are even more horrible and sinister than the Butchers,
Look
if you
at
can
these
imagine.
guys!
These have tapped into the power of Mor, and the way that they work in game is that your wizards become more powerful and can effectively cast spells through these guys when they're nearby. The thing that I really like about them from a miniature perspective is those gut plates. If you look at the gut plates on something like the Iron Guts, they have just armored guts, whereas
They
these
look like teeth, maybe. But
yeah,
these have
these
got-
guts look like intestines or offal or
and they're
or
kind
guts,
of rendered in
basically.
really like
These
arcane
guys look
values.
so
I love it.
fucking
I think it's
cool.
really, they look like they'd be loads of fun to paint.
Yep. And then, of course, at the center of all of this is Red the Maw. This is the High Slaughtermaster, sort of like the head of this cult. Of the
Red the
Gulping
Maw
God.
looks
Eddie,
fucking
what can you tell us about Red?
incredible.
This is a brand new character for the Ogre Mor tribes. This is one of the most powerful characters.
And look,
in
he's
the
got-
Ogre
he's
Army.
got
One of the most
Bragg
powerful
the
characters
Gutsman
all
on
of
his
Age of Sigmar.
tape on
and
his
goes to battle in this
face.
enormous kind of cauldron construct that's pulled into
Look at
battle
that
by
thing!
a Gorger. Gorgers are the other part of that kind of Mor Seeker grouping. So
Dear
Mor Seekers covers
God!
your Butchers, your Gorgers, and all the kind of various fanatics that follow in their wake. You've got this enormous cauldron, which I assume is where the enemy army goes after the battle. They get thrown in there. And this is both an incredible miniature, but also an incredibly powerful piece for your Age of Sigmar armies. We'll have a little look at some of the rules.
This looks
around it
so
later.
fucking good.
And in lore terms, this is the high prophet, the high priest of the Gulping God. So ogres from across the
Okay,
realms
so they mentioned the Gulping
flock
God.
to Red the Maw to hear what they've got to say.
I love the fact it's being pulled into battle by a Gorger as well. That's just really cool. So all
I'm
of these
happy they're
models
bringing
are
back
coming
Maw.
in the not too distant future for the Ogre Mor tribes.
Yep.
Obviously, we need a battle tome to learn all about it, and so there will be the standard edition on the left or the gamers
I'm
edition on the
curious
right.
if the
so that you
Thunder
get what
Tusk
you
and
need
the
to start playing
Stonehorn
your games.
Yeah, so I
got
mean, this is a huge and sizable
replaced, or if
update
there's still
things
a thing.
for the Ogre Mor
'Cause
tribes.
we saw
We've shown
there's
you
another
almost
big
all of the
monster
new
coming.
models
But not
for the
all.
ogres. There's a couple more things on the way. The other thing that's worth saying is a couple of the existing units do stick around as well. So particularly some of the big Beastclaw Raider monsters. So if you've
Okay.
got some things like Stonehorns and stuff in your army, you can still absolutely use those, and they work really nicely alongside that Tyrant, which we have one on the table here done up as a.
Okay, so the Stonehorns
Yeah,
and the
got
Thunder
kind of a
Tusks
big
are staying in
Beastclaw
for now,
vibe,
at least.
There with, I'll turn him around so you can see the kind of pelt on his back.
Bro, I love how
Fantastic. Should we have a little
grotesque
bit of a
the
look at
ogres
some
are
of the
now.
rules?
Yeah,
and
let's do
things
it.
And what you'll find inside the battle tome. So these are the
Ooh.
faction rules, the battle traits for your ogres. What can you tell us, Eddie?
Yeah, so we're not going to go through the entirety because it's a big old page
Oh,
screen
dude,
grab.
I
If
wanna
you're
play
an
these.
ogre player
Holy
or you
shit,
want to know
these
what you're
look
going to be
like
up
so
against in
much
Age of
fun.
Sigmar, take your screens grab now.
I'm
Fundamentally,
definitely
they've got
season
two big
4
army spec
of our
rules. First
AOS
the army
league
rules
in the
is
Lorebeards.
If you are in combat with an enemy unit,
Lorebeards
at the end of the
Discord
turn,
season
or
4,
you've
I am playing
defeated an
Ogre Maw
enemy unit in
tribes.
combat, so eating them basically. You can just have some lunch. You can
Have a snack.
take a chunk out of the enemy unit you're you fighting, and you can get a bunch of different rules. So this encourages your ogre army to just get stuck in. If they're in the middle of the enemy army, they can start getting bonuses. There's some really strong stuff in there. You've got stuff like run and charge.
Dear
you can make them
Lord.
harder to kill, make them hit harder. You can mess with enemy wizards, all sorts of stuff.
Fantastic. Go on.
And then you've got the
You
other
get a
special rule
buff
in there,
for the
which
rest
is
of the
basically like
battle?
a special thing where when you charge into an
By
enemy
eating
unit,
people?
you
Holy
can basically say,
fuck.
would you like to stay where you are and take the ogre's charge, in which case you take a bunch of mortal wounds, or you can say, well, I'll give you the opportunity to move backwards if you like, in which case your opponent immediately cedes ground to your ogres. So it's really good for shifting units off objectives.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting hit by that wall of iron and muscle is no joke.
You have until week 7 to rebuild your army. Oh, these aren't going to come out
war
soon
scrolls
enough for
have
that.
been looked at as well. So these are the Maulbeast cavalry that we showed you before. They
Maulbeast
come in the
cavalry.
army set.
3-up
I
save?
talked about how just devastatingly powerful they are. The gut
Enemy units do not count as charging
do
them.
damage 2, 3
Oh,
on the charge.
fuck.
These hit you like a landslide. So
Holy
many attacks,
fuck.
incredibly dangerous.
I think this is a really powerful unit. If you're familiar with the way that ogres work today, you'll know how Mournfang cavalry work. You'll be familiar with the stats. A lot of the stats are fairly
If
similar
they
to
charge
Mournfangs, but
on a
across the board,
3-up,
wherever
minus
there's a
1 to
change, they tend
wound
be a
rolls
bit
against
better.
them.
For the
Fuck
Maulbeast
me,
cavalry,
these look so
they are a
mean.
really tough unit to deal with because they're
These
excellent
look
on the charge,
so
so bonuses to charge.
7
But they're also
out
excellent when
Oh my
being
God.
charged, so they're a really
Bro,
hard unit to kind of solve
immune to
your
charge
enemy.
effects
I think
is
just a couple of these on the
crazy.
flanks would do great, or even investing on a big double-sized unit and slamming it into the enemy army
It's
could be very powerful.
crazy.
Yeah, and you can see some of the special rules. And things
Oh,
that are
my
going on there, but
lord.
I love the Ravenous counterattack rule. That means that you can be quite daring with them as a sort of like scouting units in your force. Brilliant. We talked a little bit about Read the More. Heroes
Oh,
rules.
man.
There is a lot to take in.
Yeah, this is one of the kind of big
he
big
has
name
a lot of
special
fucking
characters,
attacks.
of the ogres as well. We're not going to go through everything on the sheet.
Son
Feel
of the
free to take a
Hungering
screenshot
Maw.
And peruse at your leisure.
All
Things to call
ogres
out
within
are,
12
this
inches
is
of this
incredibly
guy have a 5.
durable
Oh,
character,
Maw
18
Seeker units have a
wounds,
5-up ward save.
and
Everyone else
ward
has a
save
6-up
means
ward
you've gotta
save.
throw a
Lot,
lot,
right?
you've got to throw a
Damn.
lot of stuff at this guy before he goes down. A level 2 wizard, that's always going to be useful. The
Oh, he's
thing
a
to
level
really
2
shout out is that
wizard,
command
base
ability
5-up ward
where
save?
Effectively, you can pick an ogre unit
18
nearby,
health.
and that unit can benefit from as if it was in combat with an enemy unit. So all of those big list of
Following
buffs
an
that you've got
Odyssey
in
into
your
the
army
deepest
special rules, you can
Shyish,
just
Red's
give those
proficiency
out
with
to
gut
units
magic has
nearby
grown
for
great
command
deep, but its
play.
power is
You
the
can do
base
some
of
great
a
stuff with
bestial
that.
sword
You've
for
got one
ogres who
in there
breathe
which
in
is
the
running
vapors of his
charge,
cauldron
so
are
right
overcome
from
with
the off, you can be
frothing
like,
gluttonous
I
fury.
really want one of my units
Oh,
in
he's
combat
going
on the
into
first turn, you can just do it.
Shyish.
You've also got an
That's
ability
interesting.
that gives ward saves to loads of nearby units. So this is just an absolutely
That's a really good
useful
character.
linchpin unit for the middle of your army.
Fantastic. So that's a lot of
That's a
great stuff
really
coming
powerful
all on the way
character.
for
That's
the Mortal
Scrag
Realms,
the Slaughterer
the
on
Ogre More
cocaine.
tribes, and this incredible
Is level
range
2
of
good
training.
AoS?
We've got some
Yes,
close-ups
level 2
here.
is
We'll
very
have a
good.
look.
Just a sense of how big they are. I don't know if we've got human for
Level
scale,
2
because
is,
one
like,
maybe
excellent.
18 when we weren't looking.
So here you've got Read the
Dude,
More in the middle.
that's
You
that
can see
model.
The size
Look at
of
the size
him.
of that
He's really an
base.
absolute beefcake.
His
And
base
this
size is
enormous cauldron is
fucking
just full of offal.
colossal.
His great big spoon for stirring around the cauldron.
If you
Here on
honestly,
the
if
side,
you got
can
him for
see the,
fantasy,
the
I
Ogre
think you could
Butcher.
build
He's really
just
quite
the
an impressive model
cauldron
in his own right.
on
And again,
the
this
like an
huge
expanded
cauldron, if I spin
chariot
him around, you can
chariot
see just
base,
how
and then you
detailed these
take the
models
other
really
two
are.
models and you just make them like heroes, and they were that would
Loads of
work
things
fine.
going on the back. Sort of,
The base is way too big for anything in fantasy, but you could split the model up into like 3 or 4 different models.
It's an incredible looking kit
For
I think
fantasy,
they-
and it would work totally
Size him,
fine.
because that's a human, right? That he's holding on the butcher.
Yeah, no
there,
kidding.
so-
He's got half a person.
Yeah, got half a
Dude, the
person.
ogre range looks amazing.
So anyway, these have disturbed me for long enough. I'm really excited to see them.
But I
come
wanna
out.
see the
think,
big
they're gonna
monster.
make quite a wave. with
I want to
Mortal
see the
Realms.
big monster.
We are still not done yet. There is still more awesome stuff to talk about in this big summer preview. Next, we're going down to
Bro,
the
this
Underhive.
reveal show for me has been fucking fantastic. La 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 la, audio scramble. Okay, there we go. I apologize. Those of y'all that rated from Johan's stream, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're still around, I apologize I couldn't address y'all immediately. The ogres showed up right then. But Johan's he's a sweet bean. Hopefully y'all had a fun stream, whatever it is y'all are doing. We're just enjoying the reveals. I'm still kind of jerking it to the Chaos Dragon we saw earlier. I want to pull up the article, see if we could find anything interesting in there. Necromunda Skirmish? Is that different than regular Necromunda? Oh, so it's a new edition. Cool. See if I can find some lore tidbits here. Yeah, like the ogre units, like you can see they have like all the stuff you would need to make normal unit. So the Iron Guts don't, interestingly. Iron Guts don't seem to have a musician or standard bearer variant. So you might have to kit bash that. Maulbees. Maulbees are slavering creatures from the far lands, whatever the fuck that means. They're ridden into battle by veteran warriors and fit in well with the Ogre Maw tribes as they're also constantly hungry. Okay, cool. Very little lore there. I do like that there's a ranged variant, though. That's fun. Red the Maw. Brutal Wizard claims to have seen the Gulping God, a fact that inspires those around him, accompanied by a pair of Maw-Seeker acolytes and a Gorger to pull his strangely etched cauldron. Red can smash his way through the enemy lines while also flinging spells from the lore of gut magic. Yeah, and there will be more Ogre goodies soon. Great. Oh, Necromunda. If only you had anything that I liked, but you don't. I wonder if they're gonna... I wonder if you'll be able to run Fire Bellies still. It's gonna be interesting to see which models are kept and which are not. What do we got left? Oh, we got more 40k, which hopefully will be Exodites. Though all of the dinosaur stuff I saw turned out to be either ogres or dragon. Am I into Gene Stealers? Only if they're like really tyrannidized Gene Stealers. I mean, if you held a gun to my head and said you have to play Necromunda, then I would play the Gene Stealer cult team. But I would want them to be as tyrannided as they could be. The Gene Stealers are my least favorite part of the Tyrannid range. I like the more reptilian, crazy shit. Bro, that dragon's probably gonna cost like $120 fucking dollars. I don't know how expensive that kit's gonna be, but that's gonna be a pricey kit. It's gonna easily be over $100. I want one though. I'm guessing since the Butcher has a culture, the regular Slaughtermaster is gone. Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, I would say the regular Slaughtermaster is definitely squatted. Has there been a Space Marine yet? Technically, yes. Because all of the starter kits, there were Space Marine variants of all the starter kits. Where you can like just buy 2 Space Marines with some paints. But there hasn't been a new Space Marine revealed. There's been new Custodes. Well, I guess they weren't new, but they're in plastic now. We haven't had a new Primaris captain or Primaris lieutenant. Oh, the audio is still down.
blast
Whoops, there
someone
you
off
go.
a 12-inch high
Sorry.
precipice and watch them
I
plummet.
do like.
I
the
forgot to
backstory
unmute
now
it.
and then, though.
Yeah, yes, I agree, but that's something I
There is something cool about
remember
like
the
having a
first
little
time I
process.
I feel like I'm about to have to
I
mute
saw
it again
that
here in a
first
second.
time and it just blew my
We
mind.
should be coming
Um,
up to the end of the show. There's only like 12
If you've
minutes
never
left.
played Necromunda before, this really
Ish.
is a perfect jumping on point. Necromunda is a really exciting game. Ask any Necromunda fan, and they will like enthuse.
So close to
about
having no
how
Space
great
Marines,
is.
it would make it
and
the
if you are an
greatest show of
existing
all
Necromunda
time.
fan, you're looking for new challenges. That's just really great.
180
because the rules
USD
have
is my
been
guess for
tweaked
that
and
dragon.
streamlined,
Yeah,
and there's going to be
that
new
would make
secrets
sense.
to unlock. And it's
'Cause
going
that-
to
I mean, that model's huge.
fighting battles in the Underhive. The narrative that's been unfolding for the past few years, the Aranthian
I
succession.
want one though.
Is
I
kind of
want
done
one
with,
real
and
bad.
I'm really excited to see where the team responsible for Necromunda.
I'd love to
take it in
paint that
this
on stream.
new
Paint it
era.
up as
It's gonna be
Galrauch.
cool.
Yeah.
And we are still
There's
not
more.
done. Yep,
Cool.
we are sticking
All right, here we
around
go.
in the 41st millennium, but we're going to go to Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team with
Kill Team.
this.
Oh, they're in the jungle. Are we gonna get a clever girl? Are we gonna get a clever girl reference? Come on, Exodites. Come on, Exodites. Oh, please. Come on. Exodites! Oh, Dinosaur Eldar! Oh, they look so good! They're up against Squig Riders. Dude, the Exodites look amazing! Oh my god, I think I'm gonna play Kill Team. I think I'm gonna play Kill Team. Holy shit, am I about to start playing Kill Team? Dragon Knights. Bro, they look so fucking cool! They look so cool! They're real!
We are
Oh
alive
my
and
god,
well
the
in this,
Exodites are
year of
real!
2026, and who
Bro,
would have
this
had
reveal show has been peak.
Exodites on
This
the
has been an
2026
absolute
Warhammer
peak
bingo
reveal
card?
show.
This is
10 out
this
of
is a super
10.
exciting box set.
Really, right?
No
this
Space
is awesome.
Marines.
So obviously, every time we have a new
Exodites.
Kill Team box set, it's very exciting. This one I
Chaos
think will be
Dragons.
particularly interesting, not just for fans of
Ogres.
Kill Team, but for fans of Warhammer 40,000.
Holy
Exodites
fuck, they
are
look
one of those
so
last
good.
untapped, awesome bits.
They
of Warhammer
look
40,000
so
lore. Whenever we
good.
get to kind of
I'm gonna
unveil
play
a
Kill
cool
Team,
new
dude.
corner of the.
I'm gonna play fucking Kill
millennium,
Team.
It's always very exciting. I think Exodite absolutely. fall
I'm gonna
into
play
that
fucking Kill
little
Team.
corner.
They look
If you don't know what Exodites
incredible.
is, very briefly, when the Eldari Society was starting to sort of way back before the fall, starting to fall.
Guys,
into
if I put
decadence
these
and,
on my
depravity,
Throne account that I
the
never
Exodites
use,
were
would
like,
y'all
"No,
buy
thank
me
you very
buy
much,"
them for
they
me and I'll paint them on
left
stream?
Main Society and settled on places far flung from the main.
Oh my god, they look so good.
Maiden Worlds, beautiful jungle planets full of rich flora and fauna, and full of all sorts
Bro,
of
today
weird,
is such a
wonderful
good day.
creatures.
Absolutely.
And then when Eldar Society
Space Marines in
was
shambles.
destroyed, in the
As
fall,
they should be.
The Exodites were one of the few remaining bits that were left. Now in the 41st millennium, they have these pockets of idyllic beautifulness across Warhammer 40,000.
Bro, the
Obviously,
Exodites
this being
look
Warhammer
so
40,000, if you've got something
good.
lovely, everyone wants to knock it over and
There's
invade it.
probably a war coming.
There's always a war coming.
Nice.
So whenever their planets are
I
invaded,
don't have
they
to
have
buy-
to defend them
I
with
don't-
whatever
there's
tools
not
they can
orcs in
find
that kit,
available,
are there? 'Cause
and
I don't
the
wanna
closest
pay
thing
for the
available
orcs.
is giant
I don't wanna
reptilian
pay
beasts
for the
that they
orc
can ride
bits.
into battle.
Should we have a
and
look at the
crush their
models?
foes with.
So yeah, here we go.
Bro,
These
they
are the
look
Exodite
so
Dragon Masters.
good.
Eddie, this is a very unusual kill team, right?
Yeah, so this
Those
is a kill
look
team first and
so
foremost. It is really
good.
kind of weird but really fun, unusual kill team. It is effectively 3 models and 2 little hangers on, so it's immediately very, very elite. In
Dude,
terms
the
of
Eldar
how
on their
it plays in
backs
Kill
look really
Team,
cool,
it
too.
plays
These look
in
great.
a really interesting and unique.
I
and
like how
unusual
their
way.
dinosaurs
All of your units
actually
have
kind of look like
APL,
Warhammer Fantasy
APL
Dragons.
4,
Like
which
they
is
have the
wild.
beak
Yeah,
shape
absolutely.
that
Kill team, so you
the
can do
High
all
Elf
sorts of
Dragons
cool
do.
maneuvers. They are very,
notice
very
that?
fast, as you would imagine, faster than almost anything else in Kill Team. They can leap up across bits of terrain. So
Like
if you
they
think
they
that your
they
sniper
kind
at
of
the
they
back
have
of
the
battlefield is
heads of
safe,
Warhammer Fantasy
perched on
Dragons.
his ruin.
The
Think again, because
the Ultron
a
dragons.
giant reptilian with an Eldari warrior on the back is racing towards you, ready to chop your head off.
You can give
have
the orcs to
3
me.
Very
I'll sell
different
them to
kinds
you.
of characters in there. Effectively, you've got a warrior archetype, a mage archetype, and a sniper archetype, and they all do very different things.
Bro, the
for your
Farseer.
Yeah, so here
Oh, I
on screen you can see
love
three
the
different ones laid out.
Farseer.
Essentially, you have the Clan Blade, which is the close combat one. You have the Lay Stalker, which is the one with the sniper rifle, and then you have the Stone Singer, which is the Exodite who focuses on using psychic powers. And then they also have these little beasts that run around with them. and those are called Dracolites.
Yeah, and they look familiar to, if you know kind of how Eldar Craft World work. There's a little bit of the Autarch to this one. There's a little bit of the Farseer to this one. There's a little bit of the kind of Ranger. So they have a kind of common ancestry with the Eldar of the Craft Worlds, but they have gone off in a slightly
Unemployed,
different
no thank you.
cultural direction.
I feel
the biggest difference really is that they ride on the back of these cool reptiles.
Yeah.
But a really fun.
All right, guys, villagers, thank you for the super chat from 25 minutes ago. I'm so sorry I missed all the excitement.
It's not the only thing you get in this box.
Ogres,
You've
my
also got
lord.
a bunch of orcs
These
in
foul
here.
brutes
The way
are
that
as
the
strong
orcs,
as they are stupid.
Work in this kill team is a little bit like the Red Terror set that we had recently, where they are effectively non-player operatives, and you can play a bunch of different games against these, either as a one-player or a two-player series. There is a campaign in the box which tells the story of an orc.
Those
war,
are
which has landed
very
on this
cool
planet.
orc
the orcs
models,
who
though.
are beast snaggers basically find a world full of monsters, and they're like, "This is a paradise.
Let's
Look at all
snag
these.
some beasts."
Look at all these giant beasts we can
those
have."
are
The Eldar are obviously
very
much less
cool
keen on that than the orcs,
orc
and they have to try and
models.
drive off the orcs so you
Bro,
can
the
play
fucking
through this
squig
campaign.
with a wheel.
Also, of course, all the stuff in this box you can also use in Warhammer 40,000 as well.
Yeah, just to give a shout out to that Kill Team Exodite book, it's really cool. I got to have a look through it the other day.
The
It's got
Exodites
great
look
lore
fucking
in it.
amazing,
There's
dude.
stories from the perspective of the Eldari Exodites. There's also like that campaign has some great.
I got a
missions in
message,
it.
Jiggleegg.
There's guides on how to set up make your battlefield to look like a maiden world. It's a wonderful book. They've done an amazing job sort of bringing this to life.
Yeah. Worth saying, one of the other ways that you can build up the kill team that you get in this set is as another unit, which is called the Dragon Knights. These are the archetypal, I suppose, the closest thing we've got to the classic version of an Exodite.
Yeah,
very reminiscent of some of the very cool Warhammer 40,000 art from some of the
Goddamn.
early editions.
What a good-looking
This is
set.
effectively a fast cavalry unit
What a
of Exodites
good-looking
riding on
set.
those huge reptilian beasts. And they work a little bit in game, I suppose, like your Shining Spears, where they could charge in. They actually have laser lances, which is the same weapon that Shining Spears have, so they punch pretty hard, but as well as the rider on the back fighting,
You've
who's a
also
good fighter.
got a crazed reptile beast.
My
helping
headphones
you
just
fight.
got very upset.
Absolutely. So they hit really, really hard. They are they're not super durable, but they're a little bit more durable than some of the other kind of combat units you might find in an Eldari army. So they're going to be quite a useful little
They
unit.
look
I think you will see
amazing,
them
dude.
Dotted around various Warhammer 40,000.
John the Emperor, thank you for the super chat.
battlefields
So
and
with the
Eldar
Exodites
armies
finally
quite
coming to
soon.
tabletop, the only thing I can think of that we still need as official
forces in
armies
this
are
box,
the Lost of the
Dragon
Damned,
Masters,
Traitor
you can
Guard, and
also
Beast
use in
Slash
Warhammer
Mutants, and Dark
40,000.
Mechanicus.
And the way that they work is that each one is effectively an individual character in your Eldari army. So
I
you've
would
got the kind of
love
lone ops
like a
sniper,
full
you've got
Exodite
your fast-moving
range.
hero, you've got a kind of buff support piece.
It's
So
not going to happen.
effectively,
Well,
this
maybe it
one
will
kill
actually. I
team
mean, if this gets
provides
enough
you with
support,
4
if people
different
buy
data
this enough,
sheets
GW
for
will be
Warhammer
like, oh,
40,000
money.
Eldari army. So it's a really flexible little
Yeah, no kidding.
clump of stuff that you can add into your Eldari force.
Yeah, so Kill Team Exodite contains 3 Exodites and the 2 Dracolites. Obviously, these models will be available separately down the line. So if you wanted to put loads into your army,
I gotta say, guys, for me, 10 out of 10 show.
An Eldari force
Honest to
might
God,
have
10 out of 10
Exodites in it as well. When
show.
you look at the history
Like,
of the Eldari,
I didn't
the
give a
Craft
shit
World Town
about
was
like
so,
the
affronted
the
at state of the Maiden Worlds that they aggressively defend Maiden Worlds. From
like
any,
the Horus Heresy
interference.
stuff was like, yeah,
Obviously,
whatever.
Lightock
But
is known
like
for the Rangers who
practically
travel
everything
around
else was
the
like
Redway, and they visit all the Maiden Worlds on a regular
Yeah,
basis.
40K
it's
stuff,
one of
like the
main
trucks were
reasons the
cool.
Eldari come into
Not
conflict with
really
other
my
races,
thing,
like,
but
they
the
don't
trucks were
seek
kinda
it out
cool,
particularly,
but,
one of the
like,
things that they have is this sort of cultural
Exodites,
association with these planets. And
the new
whenever anyone invades,
warriors,
it's almost
the
like a separate
Chaos
religious, right?
Dragon,
It's just the-
protecting
we finally have a
yeah.
core
really.
set.
This is almost
for Old World
always
now.
why the Eldari
All
will
of
get
the
involved in
fucking
fights as well,
ogre
is
shit,
that,
like-
craft worlds can fly off, but planets can't
Oh my
really. So
God.
when the Imperium shows up and decides to build a Forge World on your
I want to put a
Paradise
Farseer
World,
on a
you can kick
Carnosaur.
them off.
Yeah, absolutely. It's worth having a little look at the models, I think. So here we have a stunt beast snagger sort of drafted in to pose, and then you can get a sense of the scale of these things when you bring the Exodite up alongside. They're lithe. The beasts look really muscular.
What a
but they're
great
still
show, dude.
An impressive size model, and I think they're going to be quite popular with people who want to do just beautiful paint jobs. Right, they're going to lend themselves really towards that.
Yeah, I mean the models are beautiful. Like I think I really like the leader
That's
unit.
in particular. That
Yeah,
one, isn't it?
the
Let's get
leader
the
of
Sorry,
the
buddy.
Dragon Knight is just a really, really excellent miniature. I think just the kind of straight on pose for him. I'd be amazed if we don't see a few of those at Golden Demons and things. He's got that beautiful back banner, obviously, which is lending itself to kind of whatever showing off painting scheme you'd like to have a go at. The reptiles they're riding themselves, you could paint in almost any color you can imagine, right? The heavy metal team here has gone for some really cool, vivid color schemes. You could have
literally the only thing they could have announced.
I think they're going to be
that I would have liked that I didn't get is if they had given us like here's the upcoming guide to what books are releasing over the next like 6
well done
months.
you if you guessed
well played.
Yeah.
I'm delighted. They've existed in the lore for such a
So
long
sad I
time.
didn't like the
and
Chaos
it's
Warriors.
really
That's okay
exciting to
though,
see them,
Mikester. I mean,
on the
there's
tabletop
a
and
lot of
so
different
forth.
Chaos
This is the
Warrior
first time
sculpts
we've
now.
ever seen it
Because you have
exercised
those
in
ones,
plastic, and
you
kind of the first time,
have
really we've seen them
the
properly,
old
It
Hammer
was like
ones,
one little
you have the
shred
8th
of
edition
cloth
ones,
a little
on one of
and
the
you have the
Corsairs.
newer
Yeah,
Age of
yeah,
Sigmar
yeah.
ones. Like there's
Oh,
4
yeah, maybe,
different
yeah.
variants of Chaos Warriors
other than that,
farting
they've
around.
existed in the stories and in some scattered pieces
That are
of
all
artwork.
like different
So,
styles.
What a happy time! We're very excited, and also the love and passion.
Like
that
for me
spilled out of the
personally,
Warhammer
I
Studios that
think
told us about them was just infectious.
for me personally,
So,
I think
hopefully
I
you're as
prefer
excited
the
about
Age of
these as we
Sigmar
are, 'cause they're very
Warriors.
exciting. What else is there to say? We have come to
Release
the end
schedule?
of our
That was a lot of
preview.
stuff, Adam.
It was
I
a
would
lot
have
of
liked
stuff,
a
and
release
we said it
schedule,
would be about
but I'm
90
not
minutes,
gonna-
and
I'm not gonna cry
we're
over it.
very, very nearly there. So thank you if you are still with us and enjoying the Warhammer preview. It's been lovely to have you with us. I should round up. There have been a couple of questions floating around.
Bro, they
one of them I can
nailed
field
this
right now. Somebody
time-wise.
asked
It's
in
been
the
almost
chat,
exactly 90
what's
minutes.
the cost to the Warhammer Academy? The cost is nothing. It is free. You'll need to log in and sign up.
All right,
But
guys,
it is
Pillar,
designed
that's it.
to
I'm
help
getting
you
Eldar
just
for
get
11 now.
started
Me
with,
too,
your
apparently.
Warhammer journey. So it doesn't cost anything. Just join in and start.
God, am I
learning
gonna
about
start playing
Warhammer
40K?
and sort of honing your skills
Oh,
and gaining
no.
confidence as you do so.
Because like I love
If you've got
Tyranids.
more questions, well, we've got good news.
Is this-
A few
is this
weeks
finally
back,
gonna
Eddie
push
and
me
I
over the
did a
edge? I'm
Q&A.
scared.
We had a nice time doing it, so we're going to do another one in a couple of weeks. So here is an email
scared.
address appearing mystically on your screen.
What if they
Plunder, that is
released a second
Q&A
old novel? I
at
would've shit my pants.
preview.warhammer.com.
Oh, they're doing another
That is
Q&A.
where you can start sending your questions. Hopefully, Warhammer-related questions, and specifically about things we've talked about in the preview.
I mean, you
Do
can
I
send
wanna
in any
send
question. We'll only
questions?
answer the Warhammer related ones.
I have
probably.
very few specialist subjects, and most of them revolve around Warhammer. So, yeah, please do send us Warhammer questions to that Q&A in a couple of weeks' time.
Oh
We'll
yeah, I
let you
guess
know
I do.
closer to
Yeah,
when it's
I am
be.
going to send them a
We'll
question.
go through those
I want
questions,
to
we'll pick
ask
the best
about
ones,
the. I want to
and
ask
we'll
about the
sit
Chaos
down
Dragon.
and have a little session where we read through all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I guess all that remains then is thank you everybody for coming and joining in this preview and spending some time with us. Thank you to all the people behind the scenes who pressed the buttons and moved the models around and made it all work.
What do we
You are
think,
champions.
guys?
Thank you, Eddie, for knowing.
How do
all
y'all
the
rate
answers and
it?
making
1
the
out of
answers.
5?
Had a
1
great
out of
time.
10?
Brilliant. In that case, until next time, we will see you again
Good or
very
bad?
soon. Good night.
Bro, they nailed that. That was 89 minutes. I honestly, for me, great show. That was a fantastic reveal show. Like, hot damn, that was a good reveal show. Not a single new Space Marine. Oh. That's what pushed it over the edge. No halflings. You know, that's a fair criticism. Chapter Master Sotek, don't you fucking dare ever say those words again. How dare you associate me with any of that? Well, Sean DeWolf, I intend on asking a genuine question. I'd like to ask them if the new Chaos Dragon sculpt, if you can build it without the rider and it looks good, that way you can run it as Galrauch because he is in the Arcane Journal. So like I want to ask them about it to be like, is there going to be like a big hole if I don't put the rider on it, or can I build it without the rider and it looks good? They glossed over it, but there's a new Space Marine in the introductory set. Well, oh, is it like an actually new sculpt? The halflings are in the maw pot. No! Aren't custodians kind of Space Marines? That's not what a custodians player would say to you. Should have been Catachin facing the Exodites. That is true, but I can understand why they're probably like, we don't want to release that many new minis right now. Catachin versus Exodites would have been pretty hype. But to be fair, I feel like they kind of missed the boat on that, because it should have been it shouldn't have been Catachin versus Exodites. It should have been Catachin versus the Red Terror. That's where they goofed. Is that the Red Terror box set is literally Imperial Guard versus the Red Terror, but they didn't use Catachins, and that's where they goofed. That should have been Catachin. It doesn't look mutated enough for Galrauch. Oh, that's easy to do with green stuff. That's like that's not hard to fix. Sad to see no Fire Slayers. Oh, the Fire Slayers will come around eventually. I wasn't expecting to hear any of them. Yes, they did tease a big new monster for the ogres, which is most likely the new special character, because there's been a lot of rumors about special character. All right, boys and girls, guys, gals, non-binary pals, whatever you may be. I enjoyed that show. I thought that was a super good time. I had a really, really good time. I don't really have anything else I want to do right now. I think I am happy to call it there for at least a bit. So I'm going to send y'all off on some raids because I've been streaming non-stop for the last, like, 7 hours. So I need a break. I need to stretch and rest and all that stuff. So I'm gonna send y'all off to raid some buddies of mine. Oh, Vera's streaming. Oh, Vera just started her stream. Well, perfect timing. So we'll raid Vera. That's perfect. But I hope you all have a lovely day. I do want to thank you all very much for coming by to hang out with me. Did I see the Sylvania's? Yes, I have seen the Sylvania's C7 book reveal. That's one of those books I think I'm going to want to watch live, to be honest. I'm going to want to purchase and read immediately. But I hope you all had a good time. I hope you enjoyed the show. And you enjoyed hanging out with me for a little bit. I'm pleased as a peach. I'm pleased as a peach. So I'm going to go ahead and send y'all off to go hang out with good old... Okay, Vera's not on YouTube. That's unusual. She's usually on both. Well, in that case, I'm going to send y'all after Froggy, I guess. Cool. Anyway, y'all have a good day. I will be back later, probably to play some more Final Fantasy 14, to be honest. We're going to get our Black Mage to 70 tonight. We're going to do it. We're going to get Black Mage to 70 tonight. That way we can get that done. And that will give us the weekend to play Total War Warhammer, to finish our Codex campaign, which means on Monday we can start my first ever playthrough of Elden Ring, which will be super fun. So yeah, take care guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.